is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Pregame.
It's time for Angels Cactus League Baseball as this afternoon from Tempe Diablo Stadium, the Angels get ready to take on the Seattle Mariners. Hi, everybody. This is Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Jose, we have a lot of news and notes from the Cactus League here in Tempe today. Albert Pujols, unfortunately, will not be in the lineup, but we don't want fans to read anything into that.
Well, Terry, but you know what? We are very fortunate because we have seen a guy that was promoted to be slotted in the middle of the lineup be productive immediately for the Angels here in camp. Albert Pujols at Oakland immediately connected. RBI double to begin his Angels career here in preseason. Not wasting any pitch and also showing the patience, showing that beautiful swing, and knowing that he is a guy that the Angels want to follow all season long.
You mentioned the patience of Albert Pujols. In the opener on Monday against Oakland, a couple of hits. Yesterday against the White Sox, he had a double and also a walk. On the hill today for the Angels will be Jared Weaver. He'll be making his first start in the Cactus League. He will be opposed by Blake Bevan of Seattle. Weaver, an 18-game winner and the runner-up in the Cy Young Award in the American League. Mark Gubicza had a chance to visit with today's starter, Jared Weaver.
We hear you're working on a cut fastball. How's that going so far?
Not so good. I think I've been working on about 6 different grips, and none of them are working. I don't know if it's my arm angle or what, but can't quite get a grasp on that. But we're going to keep working at it.
So if you perfect that, that gives you about 1,000 pitches to take out during the course of a game, then, doesn't it?
You're trying to get better every year, right? So you got to keep tricking those hitters. So they'll come up with something.
You have a new teammate as far as in your rotation, C.J. Wilson, settled in probably between you and Dan Hare and Irvin Santana. It's got to help out having a power lefty in there.
No, absolutely. You know, we thought we had a pretty good squad. Pitching staff last year, and you know, anytime you can add the top free agent pitcher out there to your rotation, obviously he's a workhorse. We've seen that battle against them with Texas, but you know, we're glad to have him a part of our rotation, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you look it up at that scoreboard. Yes, you know, good 9 runs. You know, getting up there and runs again today. I mean, there's so many games you're swinging the bat well. It's got to feel good as far as a pitcher now, getting that support for you.
No, yeah, you know, obviously you know, we had to grind last year, and you know, it's always nice to sit down in the second inning and see a 4 spot up there. So it takes a lot of pressure off our shoulders, and you know, it's going to be fun to watch these guys go to work. They've showed it already in the first couple games, and you know, I'm excited to get out there.
I know pitchers work real hard, but the most important question is, how's your golf game?
Struggling. The iron game used to be a strong part of my game, and now I don't know what's going on. I got the shanks, the yips, everything, but the putting's coming along, so I guess that's a plus to take that out of it.
So you do have that going for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, we appreciate it.
You got it, Gooby.
You know, the best thing is that Mark Gubicza is giving some insight on what a lot of the starters do here in spring training, and when you connect the word struggling with Jared Weaver, Terry, I'm glad it's not about pitching.
Well, we don't have to worry about his pitching, maybe his golf game, but he is certainly one of the best in baseball. Jose, there are questions to be answered this spring here in the Cactus League. One of them we'll get a little bit of a feel for. That's Mark Trumbo. He's in the starting lineup today at third base.
What a great thing for Mark Trumbo. Throw him out there. He's been working so hard, as you see here, early here in camp at third base and at first base. Like Socha said earlier today, he's not going to hit today, but we want him to see the angle, the speed of the game, and also getting used to communication and the throwing from third base, which is a little different. Also, Bobby Abreu is in the lineup for the Angels in left field. He has been itching to play. He has been under the weather, but he took a very good BP session along with his fly balls earlier, and we know Kendrys Morales continues to progress. And one thing about yesterday, Terry, ball game, the guys on the mound, I think we saw some things happen that are going to help all of these candidates. Number one, Garrett Richards, a couple of innings. We saw the stuff location not all there. It's still early in the spring, but we saw the power arm. When he was down in the zone, he was very scary. Eric Curley, their veteran, came in, a little bit of a slow start first inning, but he found the way to get together along with Kevin Jepson, who showed explosive stuff pushing off, and Trevor Bell, who we know very well, came out, kept the ball down, and pitched himself out of jams.
The Angels closer Jordan Walden is also scheduled to see some action today for the Halos.
I think that's exciting. Get him out there, get his feet wet, maybe work a little bit of that changeup that he's been talking about all winter long.
So it's the Angels and the Seattle Mariners from Tempe Diablo Stadium, and the first pitch along with the lineups and the start of the ball game coming up next on Prime Ticket.
We are back at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Jose Mota alongside Terry Smith on AM 830 and also on Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket here this afternoon as the Angels with a 2-0 record going against the Mariners. They are 4-1. The Mariners, managed by Eric Wedge, have the following lineup. Former Angel Sean Figgins is leading off. He is in center field. Youngster Dustin Ackley will follow, batting second at second base. Kyle Seager is a third baseman, batting third. New acquisition, exciting young player Jesus Montero is a cleanup hitter. He's a catcher with a lot of power. Mike Carp from Southern California makes a start in left field. He is batting fifth. Miguel Oliva led the team with 19 home runs last year. He drops to number 6 as a designated hitter. Michael Saunders will make the start playing in right field and batting 7th. Brendan Ryan, solid hands at shortstop, will bat 8th. And Luis Rodriguez, versatile infielder, will make the start at first base today here at Tempe Diablo and bat 9th for the Mariners. A very excited Angels dugout gets ready for this one here. The Angels off to a nice start with Eric Ibar leading off today. He's back in action after taking a day off yesterday. Ibar, the Gold Glove shortstop. Batting second is Howie Kendrick, who homered in his first game a couple of days ago against the Oakland A's to straight center field. Kendrick, the All-Star second baseman, batting second. Bobby Abreu makes his start and his debut here for the Angels in the Cactus League. Bobby is in left field, batting third. Torrey Hunter for the Angels is batting fourth. He is in right field. Chris Iannetta, who already homered for the Halos on their first game, is batting fifth. Iannetta, the new Angels catcher, coming from Colorado for Tyler Chatwood in a trade. Batting sixth is Peter Borges in center field. Hank Conger getting some early opportunities as a designated hitter. He's batting 7th. Efren Navarro, with those solid hands, is at first base, batting 8th. And the big news, Mark Trumbull is making the start for the Angels, batting 9th at third base. For Trumbull, pretty exciting day for him as the Angels get a chance to see him out there in live game action, speed of the game. And for Trumbull, as of right now, the plan is he will not hit, even though he's slated in the number 9 slot. But certainly they want him to get used to all the action over at third base territory.
All right, Jose, the Angels are taking the field. Jared Weaver getting ready to loosen up with his battery mate, Chris Iannetta. The Angels are wearing the red tops and the white pants. The Mariners have on the dark tops and the gray pants as the umpires get ready to approach home plate for the exchange of the lineup cards today here in Tempe. When we hit the airwaves, it was bright and sunny, and all of a sudden now the sun is behind a cloud cover. It is cool here today in Tempe. The temperature again at game time right around 60 degrees. We had a cold front come in last night with a lot of winds, and the winds will be gusting today at about 24 miles per hour. The winds will be blowing out to right and right center, and it should help some of the left-handed batters who pulled the baseball. The umpires today, Kerwin Danley will be calling balls and strikes. We'll have Daryl Cousins on the bases along with Ted Barrett and Mike Everett. The Angels off to a good start in the Cactus League with a pair of victories. Angels won here yesterday, beating the White Sox 6-2, and won the Cactus League opener Monday against the Oakland A's by a score of 9-1. Meantime, the Mariners have been playing some good baseball this spring. They have won 4 of their first 5 games and have won their last 3 in a row coming into play here today. Around the infield for the Angels this afternoon, the first baseman is Efren Navarro, playing second base, Howie Kendrick. Mark Trumbo gets the start at third base, his first game in the Cactus League. He's not slated to bat today. He'll only play in the field, so in all likelihood just a couple of innings of defense at third base. Eric Ibar will be the shortstop. Bobby Abreu is the left fielder. Peter Borges in center. Torrey Hunter in right. Chris Iannetta is the Angel catcher. Hank Conger is the DH. An 18-game winner and AL Cy Young runner-up a year ago, Jared Weaver, will be on the hill. We're just about ready for baseball. Old familiar face getting ready to bat for Seattle. That's Sean Figgins, the former Angel. He's playing in center field for Seattle today. We're set for baseball. Here's the game's first pitch, and it's a little bit high and away for ball 1. We're underway. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. 340 down the left field side here in Tempe. 367 to right 420 to dead center. The next pitch on Figgins. He thought about bunting it, takes it, and the pitch is in there for a strike.
We know when Figgins is on his game, he bunts very well. He draws a lot of walks. That's something that the Mariners still have not seen, just the consistency of Sean Figgins offensively in his first 2 years in Seattle.
He hit just 188 last year for the Mariners and takes that pitch, and it misses a little low. 2-1 the count.
Figgins, and we're talking about before the game, probably feels a little strange out there still because he has so many good friends in his organization.
Here's the 2-1 pitch on Sean. Again, showing signs of bunting, takes the pitch, and that's a strike. So the count even, it's 2-2. Figgins played in only half of the Mariners games last season. He had some injury issues. He had a hip flexor problem going back to August of last season, but he was also benched for a long stretch of games a year ago as well. And there's a pitch that he's taking. It hits right near the plate for ball 3. It's a full count, 3-2. Waiting on deck is Dustin Ackley. Ichiro did not make the trip to Tempe today with the Mariners, so we will not see him in their lineup. And the 3-2 pitch, and that is a called third strike on Figgins. A fastball that looked a little bit high, and Figgins is out looking.
It's not taking Figgins long to complain about the strike zone, but I mean, even when he took that second called strike from Kerwin Danley, he's going to be calling the outside strike. And I don't know that's a good idea to start questioning umpires this early in spring training.
So 1 out on the strikeout on Figgins. Here's Ackley, a left-handed batter, and that pitch is in there for a strike.
And let's not forget about another thing, which is a main factor here, is you have a guy on the mound who has now the reputation, Terry, of painting corners.
Next pitch from Weaver, and that one is cut on and missed, and he jumps in front on Dustin Ackley. It's now 0-2.
A well-respected Jared Weaver all throughout baseball, and yes, umpires do have their notes too.
The 2-strike pitch, that one misses high. Weaver, again last season, a strike thrower, only 56 walks in 235 and 2/3 innings a year ago. Those innings, the most in a season for Weaver in his Angel career, and he misses low and in with that one on Ackley. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Weaver is working pretty fast. Says he's ready to throw everything here today.
The next pitch, the 2-2, lifted in the air on the left side, shallow left center. Going back is Ibar. He's going to be called off though by Borges, the center fielder, who makes the catch in very shallow left center. That's the second out. 2 are gone. Kyle Seager will be the next batter.
Good job communicating there as you see Bobby Abreu converging with Borges and Eric Ibar going back, and it's also a sign of working on some things here in spring training. Your range might have changed from 1 year to the next. Communication skills, sometimes managers tell you to be more vocal, so all those things go into play here in spring training games.
First pitch on Seager, he goes after it and fouls it back to the backstop. 0-1 the count.
One of the biggest differences obviously with pop-ups here in spring training is that you can call somebody off and they can hear you. There's no 40,000 people in the stands, but you still want to use your hand signals and waving with your arms.
There's a pitch that's a little bit low and inside on Seager. The count 1 ball, 1 strike. Seager, like Ackley, the batter who hit in front of him, a left-handed hitter, and those two were college teammates at North Carolina. The 1-1 pitch, and that one is cut on and missed. It's now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Terry Seager actually could have been named starting third baseman for this season. I mean, they pretty much said you take over Sean Figgins' job halfway through the year.
And there's a pitch that's cut on and missed, and Seager is down on strikes. A strong first inning for Jared Weaver with a pair of strikeouts here in the first. In the inning, no runs. Angels will be starting it off with Ibar, Kendrick, and Abreu against Blake Bevan. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of Angels baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of Angels baseball. Jerry Smith, Jose Mota, and our producer engineer Darren Chan with you today. Ibar back in the lineup for the Angels this afternoon. He went 1 for 2 in the opener Monday against the A's. So he gets ready to face the big Texan Blake Bevan, 6'7", 250-pounder. Here's his first pitch, and that one a little bit low and away for a ball to count. 1 ball, no strikes.
Bevan's a guy that's going to be around the zone in 97 innings in the big leagues for the Mariners last year. Only 15 walks. He's not going to overpower you, but he can reach back at times and put you away with a fastball.
Here's the next pitch. That one is chopped foul over on the right side. Bevan pitched last Friday against the A's in his Cactus League debut, and he went 2 1/3 innings. He gave up 4 hits, an earned run. He walked a batter, struck out a batter. Mariners today are playing their 6th Cactus League game. The pitch, that's lined just foul on the third base side. A low liner off the bat of Ibar. It's 1-2. One of the reasons the Mariners have played several more games than the Angels so far is the fact that they will open up the regular season with a 2-game series against the Oakland A's in Japan on the 28th and 29th, and that is a series that is being eagerly anticipated because Ichiro will be playing back in Japan. The 1-2 pitch lined into right field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Ibar with a 2-strike leadoff single is aboard, and the batter will be Howie Kendrick.
Many people looking forward to that. Seeing Ichiro with that uniform now as a number 3 hitter for the Seattle Mariners. Of course, the Mariners, like the Oakland A's, whom the Angels already saw, will also have regular season games in Japan. But then after that, they get back into some exhibition games and then begin the regular season in the States.
Mariners also signed a couple of Japanese pitchers during the offseason who are competing for spots on their pitching staff this year. So they will be headed back to Japan as well. First pitch on Kendrick. He takes ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Iwakuma, one of them, is having a little trouble adjusting right now here in the early going in camp.
Also have another pitcher they signed out of Japan by the name of Kawakazi. There's a line drive that's hit to left. It's caught by the left fielder Karp. The base runner Ibar was on the move. Tries to get back to first. He's going to be doubled up. So Eric was on the move. Howie couldn't have hit it any harder, but it was a low line drive that Karp, the left fielder, caught and then had plenty of time to fire to first base. As Ibar had gotten all the way up to second, he had to reverse direction and try back to first base, but couldn't get back in time. So a line out double play.
That is good hitting by Howie Kendrick. Mr. Line Drive himself is really square that ball, but also a nice play in left field by Karp. And Ibar, who was on a straight steal attempt, did not pick up the ball off the bat very early.
So here's Bobby Abreu. This is his first at bat this spring. He takes the first pitch low and outside.
Bobby came into camp in much better shape than he had last year.
Trying to bounce back from a tough season a year ago. Only 8 home runs and a .253 batting average for Abreu. Drove in 60 runs last season.
Well, the Angels have a couple of veterans, Terry, already saying they'd like to play 2 or 3 more years, and they're here heading back to back today. Abreu and Torrey Hunter.
2 balls, no strikes on Bobby. Here's the pitch. He takes that one for a called strike. Abreu missed the first couple of games because of the flu bug, and that's been going around the clubhouse a little bit right now. The 2-1 pitch. That's a little bit low.
You know, unfortunately in baseball, that's like a sign of spring too. One guy brings it one day, before you know it, you got 40 guys running, trying to catch a sneeze or anything like that.
Yep. You got so many players in close quarters in that clubhouse. The 3-1 delivery, swing and a miss, and the count runs full. It's now 3-2.
There's that fastball that he'll lamp up at times, try to put you away. I was talking about this night. It's a four-seamer, but he depends more on that two-seam running fastball. He's not afraid to pitch a contact, even at his 6'7" stature.
So we'll see what gives. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff. Foul back right behind home. We'll do it again. 3-2.
So Terry, great to see Mark Trumbo in that lineup. I think Mike Scioscia surprised a lot of people today. Trumbo in the lineup, third base. It's not supposed to hit.
And that's because of the ankle, the foot problem, I should say, for Trumbo. It's fouled back behind the plate. He is running the bases yet, but they just don't want him to have to do that yet in game conditions. So just being used as kind of a defensive player today.
You know, something interesting is Albert Pujols told me before the game the arm that Mark Trumbo has from third base. He goes, this guy's got a laser of an arm.
Here's the 3-2 on Abreu, and he was fooled. He chases that pitch, struck him out swinging, did not get off a good swing on that 3-2 delivery, and the inning is over. The Angels had a leadoff hit, and that was it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. Scoreless after 1 on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. This will be the only time these two teams face each other this spring. Montero at the plate. He came over from the Yankees during the offseason, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 to count. Jesus Montero, powerful hitter, young player, catcher, and he takes that pitch outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. When he was traded by the Yankees over to Seattle in the Michael Pineda deal, Brian Cashman of the Yankees GM, get to it after the pitch. It's bounced by the mound out behind second, and smothering it but unable to get a throw to first base is Ibar. That'll be an infield hit for Montero. Eric did a good job just to get to that ball, but then went sprawling and stopping it and never had a chance to get a throw to first. Brian Cashman, the Yankees general manager, when he traded Montero away to Seattle, said a couple of things about his talent. Number one, he mentioned that he felt that he might be the next Miguel Cabrera. And number two, he said that he could very possibly be a guy that could come back and haunt him for trading him away.
Now, Brian Cashman knows very well, and the Yankees do this as good as anybody. To get quality, you have to give up quality, and they got a quality pitcher, Michael Pineda. And for so many years, the Yankees have traded mega prospects, and the results are pretty obvious. They've had a nice run.
Yeah. Montero, a gifted player, and obviously Seattle, a team in need of offense this season, so that's why they sent a good young all-star pitcher from a year ago to New York to get the talents of a Montero.
Yeah, one thing that's going to be way different for Montero, even though he does not have a full year under his belt, is the right center field porch to Yankee Stadium. The dimensions at Safeco playing at home are way different.
Yep. 2 balls, no strikes on Mike Carp, Southern California native. Carp hit .276 in 79 games with Seattle last year. He's another left-handed hitter in their lineup, and they have altogether 6 of the 9 batting left-handed against Weaver. Jarrett is set. Here's the next pitch. Lifted in the air into left center field. Should be an easy play for Bobby Abreu, and he'll put it away. So that's the first out here in the second.
Yeah, I like that, Terry. How about Peter Borges knowing that the old veteran needs a little work out there too?
Yeah,
that's good. Going to have that communication too, and even though the wind is blowing in a way in which Borges could have just taken charge of that, he knows that Bobby is not going to be out there all the time, and the more reps he gets, all the better.
So the batter now is Olivo, their catcher, although today's DHing. He hit 19 home runs last year, drove in 62 runs. Right-handed batter. His batting average last season was only .224. First pitch, Weaver delivers that one high.
We were just talking about Yankee Stadium. You put Olivo in that ballpark, and he would have hit 30 home runs compared to the 19 he hit playing half of his games at Safeco in Seattle.
He led the Mariners last season in home runs and runs batted in. Pitch on its way. He pops one up on the right side. The second baseman, Howie Kendrick, a couple feet back on the outfield grass, is under. He'll make the catch. That's the second out. So 2 gone with no score here in the second inning, and the batter will be Michael Saunders. Welk Resorts and Angels Radio AM 830 have teamed up to bring you the official AM 830 fan club. Get AM 830 event and team news and updates all season long. Log on to am830fanclub.com. That's am830fanclub.com.
For Jared Weaver, the first 5 outs, nothing new for him. A couple of strikeouts and 3 flyouts. So far, Weaver with 22 pitches.
Here's Saunders batting now on the pitch. That one is outside. Are you surprised at all, Jose, that we haven't seen a Seattle batter look to maybe lay one down with Trumbo at third?
Only Figgins, and he was just a little too picky in what he was trying to bunt. Well, a guy like Trumbo out there might be something the Angels are going to see a lot of attempts, even from non-bunters.
The pitch popped up on the third base side, backing out of play. Figgins at bat, leading off the ball game. He took a called third strike to end it. He had squared around a couple of times, looking to bunt, but ended up taking the pitches, so he never actually dropped one down. So Trumbo so far has not had any tests over there at third base.
It's a little more antsy as the game progresses. You want to get that first one out of the way. And yes, he's a little nervous. That's easy to understand.
1-1 pitch. That one's a little bit low.
But it's interesting what Albert Pujols told me, Terry, about the arm that Mark Trumbo has.
Right. Well, Trumbo was a very high-profile high school pitcher.
Yes.
Threw in the mid to upper 90s, so we know he has the arm strength. 2-1 delivery. Lined into right. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Playing it in is Torrey Hunter on a hop. And the Mariners have a little something brewing with 2 outs. Runners at first and second for their shortstop, Brendan Ryan.
You know, and talk about Trumbo. Part of what they're trying to help him with, and Eric Ibar was telling me this, is there's a place where you have to aim when you throw the ball to your first baseman. And because of his arm strength and so much carry that he has, Ibar is recommending to him, Terry, that don't aim too much at the chest. because your ball has too much carry. You got to, aim for the belt and let it ride.
So here's Ryan getting ready to bat. He hit .248 for Seattle last year, had 13 stolen bases. He's driven in a couple of runs already this spring for them. A right-handed batter. Weaver is set, delivers, and Ryan goes after the first pitch and fouls that one back out of play. Brendan Ryan is from Southern California. Went to Notre Dame High School, Sherman Oaks.
A lot of times in Southern Cal here today with Weaver and Carp and Brandon Ryan.
Yep.
Trumbo.
Angels have Hank Conger in the lineup as the DH. Pitch on its way. That's lined into left field, and that one is going to fall in for a hit. Abreu has it, and now they're going to hold the runner at third base. So that's a break right there. Montero did not get the green light from Jeff Gatz down there, the coach. And so the bases are loaded, and Luis Rodriguez will be the next batter.
That surprises me in a couple of ways. Number one is Bobby Abreu is out there, who doesn't get a lot of playing time in left field. Number two, there's 2 outs. And last is the wind. Bobby's throwing across that wind. So what Dats might have seen is that Montero just did not get a good secondary lead over there at second base.
Montero not a fast runner, but they were not looking to force the action there, the Mariners. So they had him round third and held him up. So runners everywhere. And here's the pitch on Rodriguez, and the first one is cut on to miss. The Mariners have had 3 hits in this inning, but it hasn't produced a run. And that can be frustrating. They might be thinking, here we go, this is just like last year.
Especially against Jared Weaver.
Yep.
My guess is here, Luis Rodriguez is going to pull the ball.
Here's the pitch on Rodriguez, and he takes that one high for ball.
That's a good running fastball there by Jared Weaver. He threw that no-seam fastball that started right in on the right hip of the batter and ran back over the plate, just a little high.
Luis Rodriguez, a veteran player, 31 years old. He's trying to win a spot on their opening day roster as a reserve. Here's the next pitch, and that one is low and in. That might have crossed up by Annetta a little bit. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Rodriguez has played for the Twins, the Padres, and he was in 44 games for Seattle last year.
His chances increase of making the ball club because he's versatile. And Carlos Guillen, veteran infielder, announced his retirement. He had been in Mariners camp on a minor league invite.
2-1 pitch. That's inside.
Well, it was called a strike by.
That was?
Yes, it was by Kerwin Downey, who's having a tough time out there. And is that fastball again? He started it in off the plate and ran back in.
Oh, that's a break right there for Weaver. That pitch looked like it was going to be ball 3. That was not a good call, and Danley now is hearing it from the Seattle side, their dugout. That was a bad call, Jose. That went in the Angels' favor. That was a bad call.
Kerwin missed that one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the complaining started with Sean Figgins at the very first at-bat.
No.
But something you don't see in spring training, though, very often.
It's spring training for the umpires, too. They got to get their game straightened out a little bit. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Popped foul, backing out of play behind the plate. We'll do it again. 2-2 the count.
It happens. We already saw an umpire get hit by a throw, too.
Yeah. When the Angels bat in the bottom of the inning, Hunter, Iannetta, and Borges will be the batters. No score. Seattle has a threat with 2 outs. Runners everywhere. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Luis Rodriguez. Weaver's pitch. It's lifted in the air into center field. Should be a routine play for Borges. And fairly shallow right center will put it away. And the inning is over. So the Mariners had the 3 hits in the inning, but they failed to score. No runs, 3 hits, no errors. They leave them loaded. The bottom of the second is coming up. There's no score on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. The Angels with MLB.com at bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, or Android. It's spring training scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit angels.com for details.
And the teaching and the learning never stops in spring training. As you took a look there on your prime ticket Diablo Vision shot of Mickey Hatcher. Still, Terry, very busy out in that corner. Talking to one of the Angels' young players. Looks like Jeremy Moore. About his feet and about hitting. So much goes on here that behind the scenes. I mean, take today, for example. After Mark Trumbo is done with his playing here, he's going to go to the backfields and take some more ground balls at third base.
Right. Torrey Hunter is the batter. He was taking the first pitch. He was in there for a strike, and he looks at that one. It's low and outside. It's now 1 ball, 1 strike on Hunter. Hunter, Iannetta, and Borges against Bevan, with the game scoreless in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-1 pitch on Torrey, and he takes that one low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. During the half-inning break, Kerwin Danley, the home plate umpire, has had a couple of tough calls, and he also was the second base umpire here yesterday, and there was a questionable call he made in that ball game as well. Get to it after the pitch. It's lifted into right field, chasing hard and making a nice running catch is Michael Saunders to rob Torrey of maybe extra bases there. He had to run a long way toward the line to gather that one in.
That was a nice piece of hitting, but also beautiful fielding by Saunders because he's playing the wind. He knows he cannot just be stationary and see what that ball does as it's slicing. But you have to know the wind's going to slice it even more, so you accelerate your steps, make it a little bit bigger, and glide to your catch. Not taking away the nice piece of hitting by Torrey going the other way.
Here's Chris Iannetta getting ready to bat. He had a good opener for the Angels Monday against the A's. Had a home run, drove in 3 runs. Pitch on its way. That one is low and inside. Just talking about Kerwin Danley. During the half-inning break, he went over and talked to Eric Wedge, the Seattle Mariner. And certainly it had to do with some of those calls of balls and strikes.
I think it's time to just let it go.
1-0 pitch, and that one is in there. Hey, sometimes an umpire will tell a manager or a coach, hey, I blew that one, give me a break. All right, you were right, I was wrong. It's not going to change the call. The call is not going to be reversed. But
how many times does a manager say that to an umpire? Hey, I got that one wrong, you were right.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
Nope.
Even though it does happen once in a while. Manager come out and a couple innings later go, hey, you know what? You got it right.
2 balls, 1 strike on Iannetta, right-handed batter. Next pitch. Lifted foul on the right side. That's back to the seats and out of play.
Iannetta is a guy that's very compact with the swing. His body, he's not a big guy. He's pretty thick, well built. But if you see him blocking, if you see him moving around, his approach to hitting seems like he's so low to the ground, and he has a very solid, nice leg kick. Stays there, pauses, and waits for that ball to fly into the zone.
Here's the 2-2, and that one is low and inside. You mentioned his body type, and kind of a prototypical catcher's body.
Yes, he is. Yeah, definitely. Guy with some good pop. He already showed for the Angels going deep on Monday against the A's. And a guy that will keep innings alive. He'll take his walks.
So he's worked the count full. The payoff pitch. He bounces that one on a hop to second. Scooped up by Ackley, who will throw him out. And that's out number 2. Peter Borges will be the next batter for the Angels. He went 1 for 2 with an RBI in the opener on Monday. Did not play yesterday. 24-year-old Peter Borges, who is a native of Arizona.
His father, Chris Borges, has been around here a few days. He said, I'm a dad first, scout second.
Right. His dad has talked about when he's had scouting assignments on teams that Peter has been on, whether in the minors or the majors, that he will not give a report on his son. He doesn't want to do that, and his teams have understood that in the past. Here's a pitch that's low.
It's all fair.
His dad is now scouting with the Padres. He was with the Orioles and in the past has scouted for some other teams. He played, speaking of Peter's dad, Chris Borges, played in the big leagues back in 1980. The 1-1 delivery. That one is low and outside.
Terry, it's amazing as you and I go back now with our 11th year here, fortunately with the Angels, but guys like a Borges and a Figgins, guys that we saw coming from the backfield, you can't stop thinking about that going. These used to be guys that used to be called from the gap.
Right.
To come play an inning or two, and before you know it, here they are. Trumbo is Howard Kendrick. Remember that?
Yep.
Howard Kendrick. Everybody is going to be a good player someday. And over the years, more and more. Napoles and Mathis. Some did well and stuck around, others didn't.
That's right. The count on Peter, it's 2-2, 2 outs, bottom of the second, no score, and the 2-2 delivery. He rips that one hard, and a nice diving catch on that low liner by Kyle Seager. Boy, that was a good play by the Mariners third baseman. They've had a couple of nice defensive plays already. Angels go down 1-2-3 here in the second. We're headed to the third inning with no score on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Pitcher for the Angels, the closer, is going to make his first appearance this spring, Jordan Walden. Angels baseball is back. Individual game tickets for the 2012 season are on sale now. Make your plans to take part in Big Bang Fridays, Family Sundays, and many promotional nights and great opponents like the Yankees and Red Sox. Purchase tickets today at angels.com or the Angels Stadium ticket office. Sean Figgins will be the first batter here against Jordan Walden. We'll give you Weaver's numbers in a moment. Trumbo at third base, he's yet to be tested, is playing in. He's still creeping in as Figgins awaits the first pitch and takes it for a called strike, 0-1. Weaver worked 2 innings, allowing 3 hits, no runs, didn't walk any, and he struck out a pair. Walden's next delivery, and Figgins takes that fastball a little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
34 total pitches for Jared Weaver.
Jordan Walden's been mentioning this spring that he's looking to improve his changeup. There's a pitch that missed a little bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's a pitch, Jose mentioning the change for Walden, that he'd like to get a little bit more confidence in so he could use it maybe a little bit more. 2-1 delivery, and there's one cut on and missed by Figgins. 2-2 the count.
With the bumps he hit last year, of course, that happens to every closer. 10 blown saves and all that. His numbers were very decent overall when you looked at him. But he's learned also that it's not just about throwing 97 or 100 plus miles an hour at this level.
The 2-2 fouled off on the left side, backing out of play.
Sorry, and the most admirable thing is he actually started throwing that changeup in the middle of last year once in a while. You'll see an 88 miles an hour in that scoreboard, and that was a changeup. Not afraid to incorporate it, but he knows with a changeup, slider, and powerful fastball combinations, he'll be a better weapon.
The 2-2, and that's a fastball that misses high, so it's a full count. Last season, out of every 100 pitches that Walden threw, only 3 of 100 were changeups, and he threw over 1,000 pitches last year. The 3-2 payoff pitch bounced over the mound out near second, stopped by Howie, long throw, Figgins running, and he's going to leg out a hit.
We've seen that before. Even though it does not look like Figgins is moving all that well yet. You know, legs get a little heavy here earlier in camp after all the conditioning drills, but he certainly put a nice run on that first baseline.
So the batter now is Ackley. He flied out to Borges his first time up. Figgins over there at first base. He had only 11 stolen bases last year for Seattle.
Just doesn't go with Sean Figgins, Terry.
Yeah.
It's like saying 11 home runs yesterday. We're talking about Adam Dunn. But the hip was a big issue for him last year. And the lack of production was a bigger issue for him.
Yep. Sean Figgins had 62 stolen bases for the Angels back in '05, and he led the majors that year in steals. Not going. Here's the next pitch. That's fouled back to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Ackley. No score if you're just joining us here on the Angels Baseball Network or on Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota and our producer engineer Darren Chan. Sun is back out. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. And Walden bluffing Figgins back to first base. Cool temperatures here today in Tempe. 60 degrees at game time, but it is scheduled to warm up. And if you're coming out this weekend, the weather should be back to normal here. The pitch that's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. Angels will have 3 home games this weekend. Friday against the Padres, Saturday against the Giants, and a split squad home game against the Indians on Sunday.
And those games, like every home game, also on Diablo Vision.
Angels will be in Goodyear tomorrow to take on the Cleveland Indians. 1-2 delivery. Chopped on the right side. The first baseman Navarro goes to second, and that'll be in time. No relay to first base. So a fielder's choice. The play at second will go first baseman to shortstop. 3-6 for the force out.
It's a heck of a play by Eric Ibar at second base. A compromising type of throw there by Efren Navarro, a guy that certainly has a touch, the arm, and the hands to make things easier for his infielders. Well, here is Eric Ibar that makes it easier for Navarro to get that out.
So Kyle Seager will bat. He struck out his first time up. That was against Jared Weaver. And the first pitch on Seager he's taking, that's in there for a strike. He was a 3rd round pick of Seattle back in 2009. And a guy who played third base, second base, and a little bit of shortstop last year for the Mariners. Toss over to first, and just getting back goes Dustin Ackley. You know how you hear about comparisons of players to other players from the past, Jose?
Here we go.
Kyle Seager, heard an interesting one about him the other day. Some people say he reminds them of former major leaguer Bill Miller.
Bill Miller, former Giant, former Red Sox, former Dodger.
Right.
Bill Miller had one of the biggest hits in Red Sox history, recent history. Playoffs against Mariano Rivera.
Time called as Seager steps out of the batter's box. Looked like he might have gotten something in his eye.
Bill Miller, I mean, he could put the ball in play.
Yeah.
Good 300 hitter.
Angels infield playing at double play depth. Here's the next pitch, and that one is cut on and missed. So the count 0-2.
Jordan Walden had a distinction last year. Terry, he threw the most pitches over 100 miles an hour. You know how many he threw over 100? 49. Justin Verlander was second, and Verlander threw 39 pitches over 100 miles an hour. Even Fernando Rodney made that list.
He did?
He threw one. One pitch at 100 plus miles an hour for Rodney.
Rodney is now with Tampa Bay. The pitch, and there's a swing and a miss at an 0-2 delivery. Struck him out. Seager has struck out a couple of times already today. 2 are gone in the inning, and Jesus Montero will be the next batter. That's the first strikeout today for Walden.
Pretty good execution there by Jordan Walden, and also a nice target given by Chris Iannetta. I like the way he's driving with his legs and also driving down with his pitches. Good finishes.
Montero got a leadoff hit last inning.
Here's a guy you want to keep the ball down right now because that wind is blowing straight out. And he's got power to every part of the ballpark.
Montero hit 4 home runs in only 18 games for the Yankees last season, and he was on the Yankees postseason roster.
He won against the Angels at Angel Stadium against Jared Weaver, way out there to left field.
The pitch that was high, and then a snap throw by Iannetta to first. Getting back to the bag goes Ackley.
Still, Montero is far from being a complete and finished product behind the plate. That's where his shortcomings are right now as a young receiver.
And most scouts say still below average defensively behind the plate. The pitch that's outside on him for ball 2. It's now 2 balls and no strikes, but from a hitting standpoint, a very gifted young hitter, and he is a big man. He goes about 6'4", 230 pounds. He's only
just doesn't appear like 6'4", does he?
22 years old.
He's out of Venezuela.
Here's the pitch, and he's late with the swing there, and he fouls it off over where the Angels coaches are seated outside of the dugout.
Get those out of the way now before I head down over Mike Socha a little bit later.
I was going to say, Jose, that's right around where you're going to be seated in a couple of innings.
Might need a mask.
Two balls, 1 strike to count. There isn't any protection over there where that coaching staff is seated. The 2-1 pitch, and that's high and away, ball 3. 3-1 to count.
Doesn't it seem like every spring in every one of these ballparks we see more and more chairs?
Yeah.
Part of spring. Closer look for the managers and coaches. Easy discussions because there's no players around. Let's be careful with the fans sitting behind you, though.
3-1 delivery, lifted in the air into right field. Torrey Hunter is there waiting. He'll make the catch toward the line, and that will end the inning. So Walden has a scoreless 3rd inning. No runs. They had another hit, no errors, and they leave a runner on base. Bottom of the 3rd coming up in Tempe. There's no score on the Angels Baseball Network and the Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Released exclusive club level season seats. These padded and spacious seats are a great way to take in the action. Seats include access to the Knot Hole restaurant and exclusive club level amenities. To purchase your great seats, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com. Hank Conger will lead it off. He's the DH for the Angels today. Conger has gone 0 for 5 so far this spring. A switch hitter batting from the left side against the right-hander Bevan, and his first delivery. That one is outside for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Bevan was originally in the Rangers organization. In fact, a first-round pick of the Texas Rangers back in 2007. There's a pitch in there for a strike. He was traded over to Seattle back in July of 2010 in the Cliff Lee deal. The 1-1 pitch. That's fouled off the catcher Montero.
Yeah, we're talking about the Michael Pineda going to the Yankees deal and getting Miguel or Jesus Montero. And Cliff Lee, my goodness. They got Bevan, they got Justin Smoke also in that trade. Two very good young players. Cliff Lee, obviously now a Philly.
Here's the pitch. Hard hit liner right at the first baseman Rodriguez. It kind of knocks him on his backside there, making the catch on that low liner. Conger couldn't have hit it much harder, but he's retired for the first out. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. Efren Navarro will be the next batter, left-handed hitting first baseman. He was with the Angels last September and played most of last year at AAA Salt Lake. He hit .317, and the first pitch, he lifts that one in the air into left field. Easy play for Carp. He's circling under a medium left end. That'll be the second out. So after giving up the leadoff hit to Eric Ibar, Bevan has now retired the last 7 in a row. And Jorge Cantu will bat for Mark Trumbo. So Mike Scioscia, true to his word, he said that Trumbo would not bat today. He would just strictly play defense, and Cantu will bat for him and likely stay in the game at third base as well. There's a pitch that's in there for a strike on Jorge Cantu. Cantu's done a good job so far this spring for the Angels. He's getting a chance to show what he can do. A non-roster player with extensive major league time. He takes that pitch inside. Cantu has had 2 hits and 5 times up. He's driven in a couple of runs for the Angels. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Here's the next delivery, and he was fooled on that one as Bevan changed speeds on him. So the count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Cantu. Cantu had 28 homers, 117 runs batted in for Tampa Bay. That was back in the 05 season. The pitch, and he swings and misses that pitch. Got him on strikes. Looked like a good slider, and the inning is over. So the Angels have a quiet third. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left. We're headed to the 4th inning. When we get back, Jose is going to be down and have a visit with Angels manager Mike Scioscia by the Angel dugout. We're scoreless through 3 on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Scoreless here in Tempe. New pitcher for the Angels, right-hander Matt Shoemaker, who was the Angels minor league pitcher of the year last season. He pitched at AA Arkansas and AAA Salt Lake, going 12-7 overall in the minors with a very good 2.64 ERA. The new third baseman is Jorge Cantu, and Mike Karp will be the first batter for Seattle. Mentioned Jose Mota down by Angels manager Mike Socha. And Jose, we're going to let you take it away for a little bit. Maybe even Mike can tell us about Matt Shoemaker.
Mike, tell us a little bit about the young man on the mound that you see him transferring from the bullpen sessions now into live action.
Yeah, you know, Matt Shoemaker's a kid from Michigan that was a college pitcher and really had an incredible year for us in AA. He's a command guy, Jose. He's going to move the ball around, has a tremendous split and a real good breaking ball, but he really relies on command.
Pitch was fouled off on the left side, so he jumps in front. It's now 0-2 on Karp.
Like, even though Mark Trumbull did not see any action out there at third base, what are the things that you wanted him to get into in the flow of the game here today?
Well, that's exactly it. He did see action here. There's a prep step every pitch. There's a situation that might happen. It's really trying to get him in mentally. There's that split right there, and that's a big pitch for him. Good job right there. 3 pitches getting Karp out. You know, he got in good position for a cutoff, which is going to be a little different angle from first base. And you know, like I said, it was a prep step, watching bad angles. This is stuff it's tough to simulate, especially at game speed. You know, you need the velocity from the pitcher, get your timing. He'll get more and more comfortable, but it's good to get him just out there, at least on the defensive end. He just went down the lower fields with Alfredo and Rob Peachlow to get some more live fun going and get him a little more long playing third base.
Miguel Olivo, the batter now, and he fouls the first pitch back to the screen. Olivo popped out his first time up today. He'll be followed by Michael Saunders. We're scoreless here in the top of the 4th inning. Angels and Mariners in the only meeting between the two teams this spring. Pitch missed a little bit low for a ball, 1-1. Maybe Mike can talk about that, Jose, why the Angels are facing the A's only one time this spring, Seattle just once, and Texas only twice.
No way, throw him back.
Pitch was fouled back on the right side, out of play.
Mike, one thing for sure is you have a great view here of a new catcher in Chris Iannetta. What are the things you look for? What things do you review after or during a game with your catcher?
Definitely. We have some video on Chris. We watched him now for a couple weeks at camp. Had video on him last year. There's some things we're doing with his stance to square him up a little bit. He's really a bright kid. He's taking to it quickly. Nice block in the dirt right there. He throws well. You know, he's tough behind the plate. Understands the game. Understands our pitchers, and he's you know, for really being with us just for a couple weeks in camp. He's made a quick study of guys like Jared and Dan Herron, and he's always talking baseball with him. And hopefully it'll be a seamless transition to get him behind the plate and start to get some of that defensive production that these pitchers are going to need.
About that last block, what are the things that he implemented immediately to keep that ball soft in front of him?
You know, when the ball hits, your knees have to be on the ground, and it looked like, if anything, he was maybe a tad late with his knees, but he squared it up, kept his glove down, kept it in front of him. Nice block.
Olivo lined out to Cantu, and the batter now is Saunders, who goes the opposite way and drops one into left field in front of Bobby Abreu for a 2-out hit. So the Mariners have their 5th hit today, and Brendan Ryan will step to the plate.
So, Mike, this is where you go to work, communication with Iannetta. Here we go.
Yeah, some things we just want to do with the running game to try to control the guys jump at first, or if you're going to pitch out or whatever. And you know, it's all part of what a young pitcher like Shoemaker has to learn: the speed of the game in the major leagues and getting his time to the plate. He's supposed to be pretty quick to the plate. So first, we're going to see him in live action, and we'll see if his time is okay.
Runner not going. The pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 is the count on Ryan, who singled his first time up. 2 outs, no score in the 4th. Runner on at first base for Seattle. Mariners have out hit the Angels 5-1 so far today. Of course, in the first couple of games, the Angels got the early inning runs. Not today. Toss over to first base, and the runner gets back. Could hear those birds chirping. They were right on top of DC's shotgun microphone that picks up all the
Terry, it wasn't
sounds
me.
of the game.
It wasn't me, okay?
I didn't know if that was you or Mike down there, Jose. I thought maybe Mike had a new whistle or something over there.
It wasn't so drizzling either, okay? There's no new sign with a casual or anything like that. A decoy sign with the birds.
There you go. They landed right on top of the microphone. That was crazy. Here's the pitch. Fouled back behind the plate, and the count 0-2 on Ryan. If Ryan gets on, Luis Rodriguez would be up next. This is the bottom part of the batting order now for Seattle. Matt Shoemaker on the mound for the Angels. He was undrafted coming out of college. You heard Mike Scioscia mention he went to Eastern Michigan University. And all of a sudden he's a guy that's put himself on the radar screen in the Angels organization. I mentioned the pitcher of the year in the minors for the Angels last year. He almost won the pitching triple crown last year in the Texas League. He was the Texas League pitcher of the year last year. He was just one win shy of winning the pitching triple crown. Here's the pitch, and that one is cut on and missed. He got him with a good-looking breaking ball, struck him out, and that'll end the inning. So for Seattle here in the fourth, no runs. They had a hit, no errors. They leave a runner on. Pair of strikeouts for Shoemaker. He looked good here in the fourth inning. Bottom of the fourth coming up. No score on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Time to reserve a suite rental for the upcoming season. Suites offer 12 to 36 guests the opportunity to enjoy the game in an intimate, private, and luxurious atmosphere. Suite rentals now offer all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverages. To reserve your suite, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/suites. First batter up is Eric Ibar as we go to the bottom of the fourth in a scoreless game. Bevan still pitching for Seattle. And the first pitch is low and away for a ball to count 1 ball, no strikes.
We stay here with Mike Scioscia. Mike, this is a development also part of the season. How do you see your lineup developing with Eric Ibar in the leadoff spot right now?
Well, you know, Eric, if he can do what he's been doing, not only at times last year, this spring, he looks really comfortable in the batter's box. That's going to be important to us. We need a 1 and 2 guys to set the table for Albert. And you know, Eric and Howie, although right now, if you look at their career on base percentage, it's not off the chart. They get on base, they can make some things happen, and that'll be big for us.
It's a bouncing ball that's hit right to the shortstop, Brendan Ryan. His throw is in time, and one shortstop retires another. That's 9 in a row set down by Bevan as Howie Kendrick steps to the plate.
Mike, what was a turning point for Ibar in getting the stolen bases up to 30 last season?
I think it's a comfort level. It's definitely starting to study pitchers more, just get a feel for your jump. He has the ability to certainly be in that range every year. And last year he just made some great strides. He's a guy that always had great speed. He worked hard on it, and hopefully he's getting better reads and jumps. And that's the key for any base stealer.
As we talk about speed, obviously it's no stranger for you to see Sean Figgins on the other side now, third year with the Mariners, but he's still a big part of this organization, its history. How nice is it to see Figgins out there?
Oh, Figgins he's not only a terrific ball player, he's just a great person. And you miss his personality. Things haven't been going too well for him in Seattle up to this point, but he's still working hard, still practicing. And he's playing center field tonight, this afternoon. He's so versatile, such a good athlete. It really makes him valuable.
Howie Kendrick batting with the count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bobby Abreu waits on deck here in the 4th inning. A scoreless game. Angels and Mariners. The 1-2. Howie lifts one in the air into left center field. Hit it into the wind. Coming over is the center fielder, and that is Sean Figgins, who is there to make the catch with Mike Karp cutting right by him. But Figgins holds on. That is out number 2.
I think there's a balancing act in playing guys in spring training, but decisions that are made during the game, who comes in, who sits out, when do you start making those here in the middle of the game?
Well, you'll get a feel for a player, how much work he wants, how many at-bats he wants. Bobby's just going to be his last at-bat right here in this game. He's coming off the flu where he was out for a couple days, and you certainly want to make sure guys get their work, but also spring training, make sure they have enough time to let their legs recover, their arms, whatever it might be, and kind of get yourself going for the start of the regular season and eye that. So these guys are veterans. They know kind of how many bats they're going to need, how much playing time they're going to need. They'll be ready to go.
Abreu fouling off a pitch on the left side, out of play. Count even on him. 1 ball and 1 strike. Torrey Hunter waits on deck if the inning continues. Bevan has been tough on the Angels today. He's now retired the last 10 in a row. He's allowed just 1 base runner. The 1-1 delivery on Abreu. He looks at that one, and it's in there for a strike. Mariners have some action in their bullpen right now. They have a left-hander beginning to warm up. This could be Bevan's final inning. The 1-2 pitch. Abreu checks, and it's a little bit outside. 2-2. The only Angel hit off the bat of Eric Ibar, and that was the very first batter the Angels sent to the plate today against Bevan. The 2-2 on Abreu. Outside, it misses, ball 3. Full count on Abreu. Bobby Abreu in his final year on his deal with the Angels. He had a vesting option click in for this season. And the pitch, and that one he takes it, misses, ball 4. So he's on. The Angels have a base runner. First walk surrendered today by Bevan. He has struck out a couple along the way, and it'll give Torrey Hunter a chance to do something. He flied out to right his first time up.
Mike, tell us about the importance of making sure there's a sequence between your sign, Dino, and making sure the hitter and the runner also paying attention at the same time.
Yeah, there's definitely a flow and a timing to everything, and you want to get that as soon as you feel comfortable that third base coach is looking. You want to get the signs to him as quickly as you can, and by doing that, you're going to be able to give him the time to get the hitter and runner's attention to just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Torrey Hunter was taking the first pitch. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. Abreu over at first base. He has a good size lead. He stole 21 last season. Not going. The pitch hit on the right side by the first baseman Rodriguez and threw into right field. Abreu will easily get to third. The ball was fumbled by Saunders. The Angels will have runners at the corners as Torrey held up after rounding first base. So a hit for Hunter. The Angels have him at first and third, and Chris Iannetta will be the batter. So Torrey Hunter gets his second hit this spring.
How much does the situation, Mike, change your sign sequence and all of that?
Sure. Well, no, we're trying to change the sequence, Jose, but we got some action here, first and third, 2 outs. There's still a possibility to do some things on the offensive end, and offensive first and third is a big part of what we do. And right now, it's early in the spring. We might not be doing some things, but during the season, you can look to try to create some offense if the matchup at the plate isn't something you really want.
Bevan's first pitch on Iannetta. That was a good-looking slider for a called strike. The count 0-1. Chris grounded out the second his first time up. He had 3 RBIs in the Angels opener Monday against the A's, and a chance to drive in a run here. Scoreless game, bottom of the 4th. Toss over to first, and Torrey Hunter dives back safely. Chris Iannetta had a reputation in Colorado when he was with the Rockies for a number of years of being a clutch hitter. We'll see if he can deliver here with 2 outs. The pitch. He takes that one low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Sun shining brightly here in Tempe. A little cooler today, and definitely some wind to deal with. Winds gusting at upwards of 20 miles per hour. The pitch, and that one close pitch, just misses low. 2-1 to count. Peter Borges, who's hitting out of the number 6 slot for the Angels today, he would be up next. 2 outs, 2 on. Can hear that wind rustling in the background. Right-hander against right-hander. Iannetta awaits the next pitch, and the 2-1 delivery. He takes, and that one didn't miss by much. Ball 3. Close pitch, 3 balls, 1 strike.
Offensively, what are the things that you like that he brings to your ball club?
Well, he brings a nice eye at the plate. He has some plate discipline. He certainly has some power. And, in the first go-around, we think he can contribute more offensively than he has in the past as far as RBIs and things like that. But he certainly has the power, has the plate discipline, and that's going to help our lineup.
Here's the 3-1 delivery, and it's cut on and missed. So the count runs full. The Angels have put this threat together after the first 2 batters were retired by Bevan. A 2-out walk by Abreu, a single by Hunter, and runners at first and third with Iannetta batting with the count full. So we'll see what happens. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch popped foul on the right side. We'll do it again. 3-2.
Well, Mike, as always, we appreciate your time, and hopefully the team will continue to play well as they have going here in the early going.
All right, Jose, thank you. Yeah, we're off to a good start in a lot of areas, and we need to keep going all spring, carried over the season.
Nice to have Mike Scioscia join Jose today here in the 4th inning. Iannetta patiently waiting at the plate. Bevan is ready. The 3-2 once again. Fouled back once again off the screen, and it lands right near Peter Borges waiting on deck. So a good at bat here by Iannetta, battling with 2 strikes. Iannetta last year with the Rockies had a .370 on base percentage. Had 70 walks last year. Bevan has a new baseball again, ready for the payoff pitch. Here it comes. And it's a called third strike. Struck him out looking. Iannetta couldn't pull the trigger on that one. Struck him out, and the Angels fail to score here in the bottom of the fourth. No runs, a hit, a walk, no errors, a pair left. Fifth inning is coming up in Tempe. We're still scoreless on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. The Irish by having your name drawn in the March into Cash drawings at Saboba Casino on Wednesday, March the 7th, Wednesday, March the 14th, and Wednesday, March the 21st. Win your share of up to $160,000 in cash in a new car. Saboba Casino voted the loosest slots 4 years running. Matt Shoemaker still on the hill. Luis Rodriguez at the plate, and the first pitch, that one is in there for a called strike. Shoemaker at a scoreless fourth inning in relief of Jordan Walden. Jared Weaver started the game for the Angels. He pitched a couple of scoreless innings in his Cactus League opener. Pitch evens up the count on Rodriguez. It's 1-1. And the next pitch from Shoemaker, he misses high with that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Shoemaker, a pretty good chance he will begin the season in AAA with Salt Lake as a starter, as that pitch is fouled off just to our left out of play. The Angels have a new left fielder. Doug Deeds is in there. He replaces Bobby Abreu. That's the only change this half inning. The next delivery, and that one is cut on and missed. Struck him out. Rodriguez down on strikes, and Shoemaker has struck out 3 of the first 5 he's faced today.
Terry, he's got good stuff, and just being down there at the ground level where he's delivering the pitches. I mean, you see the follow-up, and you see the way he hides the ball, and certainly a guy that is not going to overthrow, but there's a split finger. He finished the last hitter in that 4th inning on Ryan, and Mike Socha asked Iannetta as he was coming back, what was that? He said that was a splitter. He goes, that was pretty incredible this early in the spring.
There's a pitch that catches the inside corner on Sean Figgins for a called strike. Shoemaker pitched last year for the USA World Cup team and also the USA Pan American team. Figgins taking the next pitch, and that one is a strike.
I think he's just a little too selective right now.
Yeah. So he's deep in the hole. 0-2. And a 2-strike delivery fouled off on the left side.
That's what you have to do. Anything near the play, especially outer half, that Kerwin Danley has been calling behind the plate. Protect the plate. Nothing wrong with that.
We'll see what happens on the next 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Figgins lines one foul. A couple rows back on the right side, out of play. Saw Shoemaker pitch to some of the Angel hitters a few days ago here in Tempe. And you're right about his pitch movement, Jose.
He has very good action.
Well, here's the 2-strike delivery. That one misses up and in. And the count 1 ball 2 strikes. I saw Kendrys Morales swing against Shoemaker a few days ago, and some of the Angel players were kind of getting on Morales because there was a pitch he actually missed against him, and there was no doubt that Shoemaker was trying to get him out, and Kendrys was obviously trying to put some balls in play against him, but it was a pretty good battle those two had. And Morales was taking some ribbing from some of the other Angel hitters when he faced Shoemaker.
Talk about a guy that wants to get out there on that field is Kendrys Morales.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of ribbing because they miss him on the field, too.
Yeah. So the count full now on Figgins. The 3-2 delivery popped in the air into shallow left field. Deeds is coming in, the new left fielder, and he'll make the catch on that one for the second out.
Well, fans, 2012 spring training is here, and you can start the season now and enjoy beautiful Tempe, Arizona with good Angels baseball for as low as $10 per seat. You can log on to angels.com/spring or visit the Tempe Diablo box office to purchase your tickets today. A lot of games, as Terry was mentioning, coming up here this weekend at home.
Padres here Friday, Giants here Saturday, Indians here on Sunday. The Dodgers will be in action against the Angels next Monday here in Tempe as the pitch is lifted in the air and hit well into right field, out by the wall and off the base of the wall. And then Torrey Hunter has to run it down out there in right center. Stopping at second base with a ringing 2-out double is Dustin Ackley.
Well, one thing Ackley can do, he can drive the ball. He is well known for hitting balls in the gaps. Known for running the bases well. He can turn doubles into triples very easily. He cuts corners very well. And Terry, in a team that had Ichiro Suzuki last year, he was the team MVP.
Yeah. And that was as a rookie last year. So here is Seager batting. He's had a tough day so far with a couple of strikeouts, one against Weaver, one against Walden, and now he faces Shoemaker for the first time. Still a scoreless game in the 5th inning. Runner at second, 2 outs. The pitch, that's low. Iannetta had it roll behind him, but he quickly recovers. No advancement by the runner at second, Dustin Ackley.
It's a good job by Iannetta bouncing behind the plate. We already heard it from the boss, Mike Scioscia, with the things that he likes. And there's not a better view that Mike Scioscia has than down there right by the catchers and the hitters.
One ball, no strikes, the count. Shoemaker set, delivers, and that one is fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shoemaker.
I do like, Terry, one thing, just a quick observation. What the Angels outfielders are doing here with 2 outs, they're actually cutting the distance. Close ball game. There's been not a whole lot of offense, even with the wind blowing out. Mike Scioscia, Dino Evil are directing the outfielders to go after this guy if there's a single towards the outfield and go get that guy at the plate.
Shoemaker set, next pitch. Grounded softly on the right side. Howie Kendrick has it. Should be the inning. It will be. The throw gets him at first base, and Shoemaker pitches out of mild trouble here in the 5th inning. No runs. The 2-out double, that was the only hit, no errors. They leave a runner at second. We are headed to the bottom of the 5th inning, still scoreless on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. For Seattle, Charlie Furbush will take over, a left-hander. He's already worked once this spring, pitched in a ball game on Sunday, and that was against the Padres. Gave up a hit, no runs in 1 inning of work. He was with Detroit last year and then came over from the Tigers last season in a trade.
Yeah, the Angels got to see Furbush as a Tiger and also as a Mariner.
Yep. He was part of that Doug Fister deal last year.
Oh, he's a good pitcher. 0 run support, but Doug Fister is a solid major league starter.
Yep. At the plate is Borges. The first pitch was a strike. That one's a little bit outside. The count 0-1. Borges, Conger, and Navarro, the batters for the Angels. A quiet game so far. No score here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the next pitch, and that one is cut on and missed by Peter, and he's in the hole. It's 1-2. Furbush, a pitcher who went to LSU. Fastball, curve, and changeup, the pitches he'll use. And here comes the 1-2 delivery. That one is low and inside. 2-2 the count. He's another opposing pitcher the Angels face today from New England. We were talking about the players from Connecticut the other day. Charlie Furbush is from the state of Maine, and that's a state that hasn't produced very many major league players. 2-2. Fouled back just above us, out of play. Charlie Furbush, before he went to LSU, pitched in Division III baseball at St. Joseph's in the state of Maine. That's where he began his college career and transferred to LSU. The 2-2 pitch, way outside, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Furbush overall last season had 3 wins, 7 losses, a 6.62 ERA, 11 games, 10 as a starter between Detroit and Seattle. Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch. Lifted in the air, very high on the right side of the infield. Let's see who's going to call for it. It's a second baseman, Ackley, and he'll put it away on the dirt on the right side, and that's out number 1. Hank Conger will be the next batter. Fans, don't forget the Angels buy 2, get 2 season seats free plan is back. Choose from 9 packages, which start as low as $8.50 per seat. Don't miss a second of the action. Reserve your seats today by calling 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/season seats. Taking his Conger on the first pitch, and he looks at strike 1. The 0-1 delivery. Lined and hit well in the left field, chasing his Carp. He's out by the wall. That one will smack off the bottom part of the wall, going into second base and making a turn, and then deciding to head back to the bag with a 1-out double is Conger. That's his first hit this spring, and the Angels have a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Efren Navarro.
It's good to see Conger get those opportunities hitting from the right side, where we haven't seen a lot of that the last couple of seasons, and take advantage of it. He really hooks the ball from both sides of the plate, and here he took a fastball away actually and drove it against the wind pretty much over left field.
Yeah, he put a charge into that one. You're right, hitting it right into the wind. So Navarro will bat. He was a good RBI man last year at AAA Salt Lake. Drove in 73 runs. Had a lot of extra base hits last year. Had 36 doubles last year in the minors. And then he also had one as an Angel last September. Furbush stepping off the rubber, time called. Mariners have doubled the Angels in hits, 6-3, but neither team has scored so far, and the Angels are threatening here to take the early lead. The pitch, and that one is in there for a strike.
And Navarro, a guy that in the minor leagues last year was pretty solid against the lefties. He stays right in there, does not have a long swing. He's more of a gap-to-gap hitter. Not a guy that gets very pull-happy. Avoiding a lot of slumps.
0-1 pitch. He looked that one over, and it missed low and away. Breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Tomorrow, the Angels will be in Goodyear to take on Cleveland. Dan Herron will make his first appearance this spring. He'll be opposed by Ubaldo Jimenez. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back. Urban Santana's just going to miss facing his old friend Ubaldo Jimenez. Urban's going to pitch on Friday. And that'll be when the Angels are home against the Padres.
Good buddies. Grew up in the same hometown back in San Cristobal. And both have thrown no-hitters at the big league level.
Yeah.
And the Indians, the big question is, which Ubaldo Jimenez are they going to see?
Yeah. He wasn't the guy that they were hoping to see when they acquired him last year around the trading deadline.
But a guy, when he is on, man, he is dominant.
Here's the next pitch on Jimenez. He lays off another pitch breaking low and away.
That's a good job by Navarro. That's what I'm talking about there, because he stays close against the lefties. Doesn't pull off, and he's able to track the sliders way better. All the way into the catcher's glove.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Conger leading off second. Good sized lead off the bag. The 2-2. Navarro swings and bounces one over the mound. That'll get the runner over to third. One chance for an out is first base as Ryan throws out Navarro and Conger moves over to third. The Angels need a 2-out hit. We'll see if they can get one from Cantu.
It's a good location there by Furbish as Navarro is looking slider away. He tied him up with a fastball inside, and one thing that was very evident is where Montero, the catcher, was setting up. Pretty much off the plate inside, make sure that ball is forced in there. They run very well.
Here's the pitch on Cantu, and he takes that one high and away.
Let's not forget, Terry, just like Mike Socha is a former catcher, Eric Wedge is himself a former catcher. So there's a lot of things that Eric Wedge, the Seattle Mariners manager, will pass on to Jesus Montero.
Here's the next delivery that's a little bit outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Eric Ibar, the leadoff man, waiting on deck. Furbush is ready on the next pitch, and that one is low and outside. So the count, 3 balls and no strikes.
I'd like to see Cantu put one up over to center, to right center field here.
And the next delivery on that 3-0, he's taking the pitches in there for a strike. A hit means a run. Angels trying to get the game's first run today, and here's the next delivery. It's lifted down the right side, foul, and that one's going to push back to the seats and out of play.
That's a good approach right there. Covering the outside half well, guarding against that 2-seam fastball and also guarding against the changeup. Cantu, an accomplished major league hitter who has had his ups and downs, but not far removed from productive seasons, driving in runs for the Marlins.
So the count is now full. It was 3-0. It's 3-2. 2 outs, runner at third, and the payoff delivery. He lifts one in the air into shallow left field. The shortstop Ryan goes back. Should be an easy play. He'll squeeze it, and the inning is over. The Angels have had a couple of threats in the last 2 innings, leaving runners at third base. Here in the 5th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, a runner left. 6th inning coming up, still scoreless on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Inning. Angels make a couple of changes. They have a new pitcher, and he is a tall one. That is Luke Van Mil from the Netherlands. He's a 7-footer, goes 7'1", 260 pounds. And the Angels also have a new right fielder, and that is Matt Long. So Matt Shoemaker, who was on the hill for the Angels the last 2 innings, did a nice job. Couple of scoreless innings, checking Seattle on 2 hits. Didn't walk, and he struck out 3, and Van Mil will take over in relief. Angels got him a couple seasons back from Minnesota for Brian Fuentes.
Angels are still very intrigued with what this tall man can do on the mound if you keep him healthy and see what he brings as he develops. He is an imposing figure out there.
Fastball will top out around 97. Has a good slider. He'll throw a curve and a changeup. There's a pitch in there for a strike, and he's moved in front on Montero here. 0-2 the count. Van Mil is ready, and the 2-strike delivery. A little low and outside. This is Van Mil's first appearance this spring. He did pitch a few days ago in the intra-squad game. Here's the next delivery. It's lifted in the air into right field. The new right fielder, Matt Long, has a long run. That ball is out by the wall out there and off the wall, and then firing the ball back to the infield and holding Montero to a long single is Matt Long.
He just missed the home run to hit the top of the wall here. It really carried because of the winds. And we were talking earlier about Montero's approach at Yankee Stadium. This one would have been way out of Yankee Stadium to the right porch. I mean, he just missed a home run to the opposite field. That is his strength.
That's a 360-foot single right there, Jose. You don't see too many of those.
He got there so quickly. He did not want to take a chance in going over to second base.
Yep. So a long single. Mike Karp is the batter, and the first pitch he's taking, it misses for ball 1. Montero has a pair of hits for the Mariners today. They're really excited about him. He should give their offense a bit of a lift this season. It's a pitch that's fouled off by Karp on the left side, backing out of play. Karp is a player who has some power. He's hit his share of home runs in the minors. He had 12 with Seattle last year in 79 games. Here's the next pitch. Van Mil delivers, and that one's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play.
Mike Karp is one of those good stories, a guy that really you find yourself pulling for. Of course, not to beat the Angels, but a guy that really had to grind it out. He came in a trade from the Mets and was supposed to develop and be in Seattle a little bit before last season. He had some stretches up and down there, but he really developed to a better hitter last year once he got the chance.
There's one that he fouls off on the left side, backing out of play. He had a 20-game hitting streak last year for the Mariners. That was a streak that began in late July and ran through most of August last year. He also had 10 home runs for Seattle after the 1st of August last season. So he finished up the year strong, started to show the power at the major league level. Van Mil has him down 1-2 in the pitch, and he fools him right there. He came in with something a bit off speed and struck him out looking.
That's what we're talking about there. At 7-1, he can get it up to 97, but mixing pitches is key because so many guys see the size, see the speed, and they're committed, thinking that ball is going to be right on top of me. But he took something off of that last pitch and located it very well.
So 1 out with the runner at first, and Olivo will be the next batter. We're in the 6th inning, no score. No runs, 3 hits for the Angels. No runs, 7 hits for the Mariners. Next pitch from Van Mil. That one is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Mentioned Luke Van Mil from the Netherlands. First name is spelled L-O-E-K. He speaks 3 languages, English, German, and Dutch. Here's the next pitch, and that one is in there for a strike.
Better learn a little Spanish. I throw it in there. It's going to be way more teammates that speak Spanish than non.
There you go. 1-1 is the count. The other thing that's interesting about him here in the spring training is to see him at 7-1 pedaling around the Tempe Diablo Stadium area on his bicycle.
What?
He does not drive a car.
You saw that?
I saw him yesterday when I was leaving the ballpark. You don't see too many 7-footers riding bicycles these days, but that's his only way of transportation here in Arizona.
Trying to save money, I guess.
Yep. Here's the next pitch, and that one is a little bit low and outside. So he's fallen behind on Olivo. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Really has been working the last couple of seasons to tighten up his delivery. Looks pretty smooth out there right now.
Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that one just missed low. He walks him. So Olivo is on with a 1-out walk. It puts runners at first and second. Michael Saunders will be the next batter. Well, we have a chance here. Some scores in the Cactus League today around Arizona. In the 6th inning, Cubs are leading the Royals 4-1. In the 7th inning, Rockies up on the Giants 6-2. A's have a 3-2 lead against the Dodgers in the 5th. Milwaukee pounding the White Sox 8-0 in the 5th. Padres split squad with a 4-0 lead in the 6th inning against the Reds. Hermida and Hundley have had home runs in that game. There's a pitch in there for a strike. The other Padres split squad is trailing Texas 4-0 in the 6th inning. Yu Darvish went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits. He did not walk any, did not allow any runs, struck out 3. 26 of his 36 pitches were strikes. Speaking of Darvish, so good outing for him. And in the 5th inning, Indians have a 9-2 lead against Arizona.
You think there were some people following that outing in Japan? Big Yu Darvish?
I'm sure there were. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Saunders. No score here in the 6th in Tempe, and the next pitch, that one misses. So that'll get Ionette out to the mound. I have a word with Luke Van Mill as they talk around the Grapefruit League in Florida. Tigers beat the Braves 5-1. Miguel Cabrera homered for Detroit.
That's new.
Toronto split squad ended up in a tie with Boston 3-3. That game only went 9 innings. They did not play any extra innings, called it a tie. And then the Blue Jays other split squad beat Pittsburgh 8-6. There were 6 home runs between the 2 teams in that game. Pitch fouled back out of play. Astros over the Phillies 10-3. Orioles beat the Twins 6-0. Mets beat the Marlins split squad 7-0. Another game that ended in a tie after 9 innings was St. Louis and Washington 3-3. Tampa Bay shut out the Yankees 4-0. James Shields a winner over Kuroda for New York. And there's a swing and a miss at a 2-2 pitch. Down on strikes goes Saunders. So Van Mill comes back to strike him out. He's had a couple of strikeouts here in the inning. Still 2 on, but 2 outs, and Brendan Ryan will be the batter.
It's good to see Luke bounce right back right after that walk to Olivo, the right-hander, and just get back into counts and do a better job in trusting his fastball against the lefty Saunders. The ball really is popping that glove right now.
So Ryan will bat. 2 outs. Van Mill trying to get out of some trouble, and the first pitch, he gets him to pop it up on the right side. Should be an easy play. Kendrick on the outfield grass is going to make the catch as he falls down but holds on, and that will end the inning. Boy, the wind really gusting right now, and it played some tricks on Howie. In fact, the wind just blew his cap off his head as he got back up and heads to the Angels dugout on the first base side. Inning ending on that catch by Kendrick. In the inning, no runs, a hit, a walk, no errors. They leave 2 more. 8 stranded by Seattle. Bottom of the 6th coming up. No score on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Angels ready to get going in the bottom of the 6th inning. Eric Ibar takes the first pitch from Furbush, and that one's in there for a called strike. There's a new catcher in the game and a lot of other changes for Seattle as well. John Jaso is the new Mariners catcher, and that pitch to him is outside. The count 1 ball, 1 strike on Eric Ibar. A lot of new faces in the infield. The only starter still in there is the first baseman, Luis Rodriguez. Here's the next pitch. It's popped up on the right side in a shallow right center. The new second baseman is going to make the catch, and that is Stepan Romero. So that is out number 1. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. Batting now for the Angels is Howie Kendrick, and the first pitch, he takes that one low and away. The new shortstop for Seattle is Brad Miller, and they also have a new third baseman as well. We'll tell you about him after the pitch. It's bounced off the foot of Furbush. The ball ricochets over on the right side. Furbush can't come up with it, and Howie has a base hit, an infield single. That ball right there was just not going to be corralled by Furbush. He tried his best. Howie has a hit, his first of the day.
Yeah, good things happen for Howie Kendrick, as we see here when he hits the ball hard through the box, even though it doesn't make it to center field, but the pitcher unable to make the play. And also, as I keep mentioning here in these broadcasts, for young listeners and parents and coaches, hitting the ball on the ground is clutch for anybody.
So Doug Deeds will be the batter. This is his first time up. He's hitting out of Abreu's spot. He replaced him in left field as well. Deeds is a left-handed batter. And the first pitch, he takes that one low and outside. The new third baseman for Seattle is Vinny Catricala. And they have a new look in the outfield as well. Darren Ford is in left. Trayvon Robinson is in center. And they also have Joe Herman Chavez in right. There's a pitch that is low and away, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Angels and Mariners, no score in this ball game, bottom of the 6th inning. Furbush delivers on Deeds, and he takes that one outside. Doug Deeds is a non-roster player in camp with the Angels. We've seen him a little bit so far. This is just his second at bat, second game he's played in for the Angels out of the first 3 here in the Cactus League. He's worked the count to 3-0 here against Furbush, and the 3-0 delivery. That pitch, he was kind of moving off the plate, takes it, nipped the inside corner for a strike. 3-1 to count.
Well, for 3-0, that was a pitch with a lot of movement from Charlie Furbush there. Got to look for something that you can turn on right here. 3-1, 1 out, man at first. Big hole there.
The 3-1 pitch, skied in the air into right center. Robinson, the center fielder, coming over. Now he's going to be called off by the right fielder, and that is Chavez who makes the catch. And that'll be the second out.
Hey fans, the Angels 20-game flex plan gives you the chance to choose the 20 games you want to see during the season. And this plan has no blackout dates, a postseason option, and you receive a ticket to Fan Appreciation Day for free. Buy your flex plan today at angels.com/mini-plans or by calling 888-796-HALO.
So Matt Long is the batter. This is his first time up. He's hitting out a Torrey Hunter spot, replaced him in right field. And the first pitch on Long, he takes it for a ball to count 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0, and a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
See Long go for the long ball here. Oh, that wind really is picking up now, blowing across from left to right. Look Look at those flags out there in center field.
The lefty is ready, and the 1-1 pitch. Long takes that one outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Chris Iannetta, the Angels catcher, would be up next if the inning continues. Here's the next delivery. It's popped in the air, foul on the third base side. That one's going to make its way back to the seats behind the Mariners dugout. So a couple of strikes on Long. 2-2 is the count.
We have not seen pitchers today make mistakes. I mean, they've been minimized. And it's not anything against the hitters. It's not like hitters aren't ready. I mean, we've seen just guys on the mound today that really have been hitting their spots and have been keeping the ball down.
And not real conducive conditions for pitchers. There's a pitch that's low, and it skips under the mitt of the catcher, Jaso. Moving up to second base is the Angels base runner, Howie Kendrick. So another runner in scoring position. We'll see how they score that one.
And you're right about that, Terry. Not the easiest day to pitch. I mean, not only the wind, but the fact that sometimes when it's so windy and we know it's dry here in Arizona, you have a harder time gripping the ball, and also throwing with the wind blowing across like that. You end up sometimes missing by a couple of inches just on location, not getting the same break or bite on your breaking balls.
Next delivery on Long on the 3-2. He takes in. It's a called third strike. Struck him out to end the inning. So the Angels, who saw Kendrick move up to second on that wild pitch, strand him, and the inning comes to an end. No runs for the Angels here in the 6th. A hit, no errors, and a runner left. 7th inning coming up, still scoreless on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Coming 2012 season, and choose what games you want to see for a very affordable price. The Angels Big A plan starts at just $15 per seat and allows you to use 10 ticket vouchers however you choose from 40 Angel home games. The plan includes promotional nights, weekends, and postseason options. Buy your plan today at angels.com/mini-plans or call 888-796-HALO. Van Mill ready to deliver, and the first pitch, that's cut on and fouled off by Rodriguez, out of play on the left side, and the count 0-1. Luis Rodriguez, the batter. Angels have a couple of new infielders, new middle infield, with Andrew Romine playing short, replacing Ibar, and Taylor Lindsay playing second, replacing Kendrick. Here's the pitch, fouled off again on the left side, out of play. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
Look at Romine, actually. He is shaded towards his ride a little bit, and he's reading more into what he's seeing from Van Mill on the mound, delivering a pretty good fastball, and also some of the swings that have been a little late by Rodriguez. That's one of those times where you don't see the middle split like this as you're watching here.
So Van Mill way in front on the left-handed batter, and the pitch. He checks the swing. Fouled back behind the plate. It's still no balls and 2 strikes. After the ball game, Jose on our radio side and also on Prime Ticket, we'll chat with Mike Scioscia, and then Tim Salmon will join Jose on the Prime Ticket for more post-game coverage.
Tim's looking forward to it. He'll be in full uni because he is an invited instructor here in camp.
You might be able to get some scoop from him. He was in on the coaches' meetings earlier
Hey,
today.
none of that. Hey, he knows where the line is
There
crossed.
you go. Wow. We can get the inside information from Tim Salmon. We'll have to mic him in those coaches' meetings, then we'll really know what's going on. 2-2 is the count. The pitch was low on Rodriguez.
Well, I mean, what a luxury for any player to have a guy like Tim Salmon out there right now in that dugout, and so many of the former Angels that make it through camp.
Next delivery misses high, a fastball, so all of a sudden it was 0-2. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's one of the issues that Van Mill has had, and that's his command. He tends to struggle in the count. The 3-2 delivery hit hard down the right field side, and that ball is going to bounce and smack off the wall. Headed for second base, and sliding in safely is Rodriguez with a leadoff double, his first hit of the day.
Now you talk about the walks and the control issues. You know, once you're on the mound and you start falling behind and hitters get a sense of what you're doing out there, when you get into a pattern, well, it's a little easier to connect. And I was just talking about Rodriguez's swing being a little late in earlier at bats, but this time, because he had seen more at bats, he had seen more pitches, he was able to sit on something inside and drive the ball and pull it well.
Well, the Mariners have had a lot of base runners, and they've had hits in every inning, at least one hit in every inning since the first inning. There's a bunt that's pushed back to the mound. It's fumbled there by Van Mill. Throws wildly to first base. Robinson safe. The runner is going to come in to score from second, Rodriguez, and it's 1-0 Seattle. That's an error all the way on Van Mill, who just didn't field his position, Jose, and he kind of got caught up in his haste. He made a bad throw to first base, and that easily enabled the runner to score from second and the batter to end up at second base.
On what was pretty much a bat bunt.
Yeah.
Right at him.
Pretty much a comebacker on the bunt.
That's why there's so much time spent here in camp on what? Pitchers fielding practice, because it gets very costly during the season, especially in tight situations where you don't make plays.
So the batter now is Romero, Stefan Romero, and he swings and fouls that one off on the right side, backing out of play. Trayvon Robinson, who ended up bunting that ball that was mishandled by Van Mill, will get a sacrifice. No time at bat. No RBI as the runner Rodriguez scored from second base on the throwing error by Van Mill, but it's 1-0 Mariners here in the 7th. There's a pitch that's low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the game's first run scores as a result of the game's first error. Still no outs. The 1-1 pitch. Bounced by the mound and just out of the reach of Lindsey. That's going to skip through into shallow right center and bring in a run. Robinson will score from second base on the base hit by Romero. It's 2-0 Seattle.
Look at these young Mariners. Eric Wedge, their manager, has got to be very happy from what he is seeing, because this has been about execution here. Romero stays inside this pitch and drives it, just trying to do his job and getting that guy from second to third base. And by doing his job, he is rewarded with a base hit and a clean RBI. Great effort out at second base by Lindsey, but out of his reach.
So 3 straight have reached base safely in the inning. A couple have scored in the inning, and the batter now stepping up for the first time is Vinny Catricala. He came into the ball game to take over at third base for Seager. This is his first at bat. All of a sudden, some of these reserves the Mariners have brought in are making things happen here in this inning. Van Mills' pitch in there for a called strike.
And Van Mills' pitch count is also getting up there. There's action in the Angels bullpen. That's being his second inning of work, and after he faced 5 batters in the 6th inning.
Catricala is a pretty good prospect in the Mariners organization. He takes that pitch outside for a ball. He was a 10th round pick by Seattle back in '09. He played his college baseball at Hawaii. And last year played in the Cal League, also the Southern League, A-ball and Double-A. And between the 2 stops last season, he hit right around 350 last year with 25 home runs and 106 runs batted in.
It doesn't matter where you do it. Those are some very good numbers.
Yeah.
You also have Alex Leedy, an Italian kid,
right,
who they're counting on as a young third baseman.
One ball, one strike to count. Catricala was the Mariners minor league player of the year last year. And he was second in all of minor league baseball last season with 77 extra base hits. He also had 17 stolen bases, so he can do it with power and speed. Pretty good young player. Can play third base, first base, also some outfield. Here's the 2-1. He fouls that one back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Also has an Italian last name. I was mentioning Alex Liddy, another young third baseman they have, who was actually born in Italy.
Right, sure
in
was.
San Remo.
We saw him.
That's a rarity in baseball.
Last season, he hit 3 home runs last year for Seattle. Played most of last year at Tacoma, where he hit 30 home runs. Speaking of Liddy. The 2-2 on Catricala. He lifts a high fly ball into left field. Deeds is circling under in medium left. He'll put that one away. And that's the first out. John Jaso will be the next batter, the catcher in the ball game now for Seattle.
And you and I had a chance to catch up with Seattle General Manager Jack Zarancic, who stopped by. But I see Mike Socha making his way to the mound.
So it looks like we are going to have a pitching change, and that will be it for Luke Van Mill. We'll see who will be coming in for the Angels. We'll take a break, though. In the meantime, we have a break in the action. It's 2-0 Seattle with a pitching change here in the 7th on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Angels is left-hander Nick Morandi, a third-round pick of the Angels last June. He pitched at Orem rookie ball last year. Had a 5-0 record as a starter and a 2.14 ERA. He has a power arm, good fastball, solid slider. He'll throw a sinker and a changeup as well. And he will take over for Van Mill here with 1 out, 2 runs in, and a runner on at first base. Morandi is ready, and the first pitch, that one misses low and away for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
The Angels like what he brings to the mound. A lefty with a great presence, throws a heavy ball, as it is described, and is not afraid to challenge hitters.
He's set. Here's the next pitch, and that one misses high. 2 balls, no strikes.
I mean, Terry, is heavy to the sound up here.
Yeah, you can hear it really pop the glove of the catcher, Iannetta. Morandi might very well be the top left-handed pitcher in the Angels minor league system right now. And again, he only was drafted by the Angels last June. Here's a pitch he misses with for ball 3. It's 3 balls, no strikes. He was ranked as the top pitching prospect in the Pioneer League when he was with Orem last season. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a strike. Of course, the Angels a couple of years ago gave away to get Dan Herron a couple of very good left-handed pitchers in Skaggs and Corbin.
Let's not forget about Joe Saunders. Good lefty, and the pitch his way to the playoffs last year.
There's a pitch. It's in there for a strike. Runner breaks, and the throw skips by Romine, and it's backed up by the center fielder Borges out there. But the runner is easily safe at second base. That is Romero. So they have another runner in scoring position with the count now 3 balls, 2 strikes.
A very aggressive group here for manager Eric Wedge during this inning. Good situational hitter. They put the pressure on the Angels with a bunt. Good at bat by Luis Rodriguez leading off. Now the stolen base.
So the count full on Jaso, the payoff pitch. It's low, ball 4. He draws a 1-out walk. That puts 2 runners on.
That's nothing new for Jaso, well known in the Tampa Bay Rays, and John Madden used him as a catcher. Also as a leadoff hitter in many games because of his ability to get on base. A catcher leadoff, that's not a combination you see every day.
Yeah. So the batter now, Darren Ford. Swings from the right side, and the first pitch, he took a big cut at that one and misses it for strike 1. Like they have another pinch hitter waiting on deck, Mike Wilson, who will apparently bat for Miguel Olivo, who is their DH in today's ball game. There's a pitch that's low and outside. Morandi got to think he might have a little nervous energy out there on the mound. Mentioned he was just drafted last June by the Angels.
Interesting. Darren Ford, born in Vineland, New Jersey.
Yeah. Familiar with Vineland, New Jersey?
Mike Trout's area.
Yeah, it sure is. It's about halfway between Philadelphia and Atlantic City.
And talk about Mike Trout. If you join us a little later, Mike Trout is about a week away from playing in games, according to manager Mike Scioscia.
He's been bothered by a bit of a flu bug, virus, and has lost a few pounds as a result of that. Here's the next pitch. That one is low and outside. So it's 3-1 before the Angels begin playing Trout. They want to make sure he regains his strength a little bit.
And not that he's absent. I mean, he is working out with the team. Little by little, they're guiding him along here. Many fans, and I think all of us are looking forward to see Mike Trout out there. He's going to be playing a lot here this spring.
The count's 3-1 on Ford. Morandi delivers, and that one is in there for a strike. So it's a full count. Morandi was with the Florida Gators. It was his college team.
He's not a Tebow fan or anything like that, right?
I would think he is. Yeah.
There's many people in America that are nowadays.
Here's the 3-2. A little pop into shallow right center. That's going to fall in. It looks like another run will score. They'll wave one home, and they'll have runners at the corners. That was a good job of hitting by Ford with 2 strikes, lining that single the opposite way. And now it's 3-0 Mariners here in the 7th.
So it took the second round of Mariners to put some runs on the board here, as Eric Wedge continues to look at a young group of players here, putting a lot of pressure on the Angels on the defensive side throughout this whole inning. Pretty good at bats all the way around.
Mike Butcher out there to have a word with Nick Morandi. He's coming in. He's walked the batter and given up an RBI hit. That run which just scored will go against Van Mill. Runners on base now. The property of the reliever is working with Morandi, and the Mariners now will use Mike Wilson, who's with them today, a minor league player, to pinch hit for Miguel Olivo. Olivo went 0 for 2 today with a walk. Van Mill gave up 3 runs, 2 earned in an inning and a third, allowing 3 hits, walking 1, striking out 2. Here's the pitch on Wilson, and he takes that one outside. 1 ball, no strikes. The Angel left-hander trying to get someone out. The pitch, and that is high and outside. It misses for a ball.
A lot of young pitchers go through this as they face big league hitters. Even if they're not big league hitters, just the big league environment, a major league camp, and being thrown out there. Now manager Mike Scioscia's watching you, not your single A or rookie ball manager. It's a lot of pressure on some guys, and it takes a little while before they get settled. That's what we're seeing right here from Morandi.
He missed with the last pitch as well, so he's fallen behind here against Wilson. Chavez waiting on deck. Here's the next pitch, and that one on 3-0, misses outside. It's ball 4. So he's walked his second batter out of the 3 he's faced. They have the bases loaded, and now Mike Scioscia is coming out to the mound, and we are going to have a pitching change. Morandi was unable to retire anyone here, and he will be leaving the ball game. So we have another break in the action. When we get back, bases loaded, 3-0 Seattle. Only 1 out here in the top of the 7th. And you're listening on the Angels Baseball Network and watching on Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. For the Angels, and another youngster coming into work. Orangel Arenas will take over. He pitched last season at AA Arkansas. Had a 9-10 record with a 4.48 ERA. Venezuela native. Will throw a fastball, top out around 95. Has a good sinker. When he's going right, he gets a lot of ground ball outs. He'll throw a slider and a split finger fastball. His changeup. So Arenas takes over for Morandi, who struggled. He failed to retire any of the 3 batters he faced, and as Arenas comes in, he has to throw strikes. The bases are loaded with only 1 out. Arenas is pitcher number 6 of the day for the Angels. This game was scoreless coming into this inning. But the Mariners have scored 3 times. They're looking to get more with the bases loaded and 1 out. Chavez will be the next batter. So Chavez batting for the first time. He is a right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch, and he takes that one outside for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes.
Chavez is a powerful right-handed hitter. He's got the size, and he's got some numbers. He put up 32 home runs in single A a couple of years ago.
He was originally in the Toronto organization. He came over when the Blue Jays acquired Brandon Morrow back in 2009 from Seattle. And he takes the 1-0 pitch for a ball. It's now 2 balls and no strikes.
Okay, this is where Mike Scioscia and Mike Butcher are thinking, hey, you know what, just don't be afraid of contact. You got to trust your defense here. That's what we're seeing here. Saw from Morandi, and now we're seeing a little tentative action from the guy on the mound now, and Arenas.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is low and outside, especially a guy who's known as a ground ball pitcher. You have the bases loaded. It's not an ideal situation, obviously, to come in with the bases loaded and 1 out, but you know, if you get somebody to hit the ball on the ground, you might have a chance to get out of it turning 2.
Yeah, for a young pitcher, you know what, it takes a lot of convincing, a lot of experience. You know, there's some jitters right now. It's we've all gone through that.
3-0 pitch, that one's right in there for a called strike, so it's now 3-1. Of course, a walk forces in a run.
These were an infielder going up there and telling the guy, hey, you make that guy hit the ball to me. I'm going to get you out of this right now.
3 balls, 1 strike on Chavez. The next delivery, he lifts a high fly ball into left center field. Chasing after it is Peter Borges. He'll make the grab. A couple of runners will tag. They're going to get a run in on it, and they'll have runners at the corners. The 2 lead runners tagging. Jaso scoring, and Ford going from second to third. It's now 4-0 Mariners as a result of the sac fly.
I'm glad the wind changed directions on that one, because when it left the bats, it was going to go more towards the left fielder, Deeds, and it just changed direction and brought it over and took some distance away from it as Peter Borges makes a catch. But Terry, with that swing and the elevation, we see how this guy was able to launch 32 home runs in A ball.
Yeah. So here is Brad Miller getting ready for his first at bat. He swings from the left side. 2 outs, 4 runs in, and Miller fouls that one off on the right side. No balls, 1 strike. The Angels bat in the bottom of the 7th inning. Iannetta, Borges, and Conger are slated to bat. Arenas is set, and the next pitch, and that one misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Infield playing it back with 2 outs. Next delivery, it's chopped out towards second. Lindsay plays the high hop, throws to first, and just nips Miller to end the inning. 4-3 on the ground out, but the Mariners put a 4 spot on the board here in the 7th, and they did it with only 3 hits. couple of walks in the inning, a sack and a sac fly, and they end up leaving 2 runners on base. 7th inning stretch is coming up in Tempe. The Angels need runs, trailing 4-0 on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. AM 830 have teamed up to bring you the official AM 830 fan club. Get AM 830 event and team news and updates all season long. Log on to am830fanclub.com. That's am830fanclub.com. Chris Iannetta will get ready to bat for the Angels, facing new pitcher Jeff Marquez. He replaces Charlie Furbush. Furbush worked the last 2 innings, checking the Angels on 2 hits, no runs. He didn't walk any. He struck out a batter and threw a wild pitch. Here's the first delivery on Iannetta, and that one misses low and away. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Marquez signed with Seattle as a free agent during the offseason, minor league deal. He has been in the White Sox and Yankees organizations. He's set. Here's the next pitch. Grounded foul on the third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Iannetta.
Well, Iannetta playing this late into this game, Terry, only means one thing for tomorrow. Take a guess.
I'd say he's going to have a day off.
I'd say the same thing. So Bobby Wilson and Conger maybe getting some time, and another one of the young catchers, Diaz or Rosario, be in there tomorrow against the Indians. Again, remember, Dan Herron goes against Valdo Jimenez. Tomorrow the action covered on AM 830.
2 balls and 1 strike now on Chris Iannetta. 4-0 Mariners. The pitch is low and outside. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Marquez is pitching for the 2nd time this spring. He's worked 1 scoreless inning so far for Seattle. And the 3-1 ripped down the left field side, tight to the line down in the corner, but foul. Iannetta put a charge into that one, a long strike down in that left field corner.
Just like the compact swing that he has, and you heard Mike Socha tell me about just the approach and the ability to take pitches, laying off tough pitches. Brings something the Angels haven't had from a catcher offensively in a while.
Today's attendance here in Tempe, 5,165, 51-65 for the Angels' 2nd home game. Next pitch, it's cut on, fouled off, right side by Iannetta. So it's still 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Seattle club, they've had back-to-back losing seasons, and they've posted losing records in 6 of the last 8 years. They dropped 95 games last year, and they finished 29 games out of first. They were in the cellar in the AL West last year.
They have one of the best pitchers of the game in Felix Hernandez, who declared that he would like to spend his whole career with the Mariners. Just hard to believe that Felix Hernandez is only 25 years old. Had a remarkable outing yesterday, 3 innings, scoreless, hitless, 4 strikeouts. And he'll be making the opening day start in Japan.
3-2. We'll try it again. The next delivery, it's cut on and missed. He got him, struck him out. Iannetta with a strikeout here, leading out the 7th. Second time he struck out today. The Mariners have had very good pitching. They're combining right now on a 4-hitter, and they've walked only 1. Plus shutout baseball in this ball game.
Well, the key has been that they've thrown strikes. That's been the key. They've forced the Angels to swing at their pitches more and more.
There's Borges batting, taking a pitch low and away. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
Terry, really, for a couple of years, what a dismal offense this has been for the Mariners.
It really has. Get into some of those numbers in a moment. The pitch that's fouled off. Seattle last year, they were last in the majors in batting average, total bases, slugging percentage, on base percentage, runs scored, and runs batted in. Dead last in the majors in all of those categories. Their team batting average last year was .233. Here's the next pitch, and that one misses outside.
And a team that actually pitched pretty good. For most of the season, they were among the best in ERA collectively.
Mariners were shut out 16 times last year, the most of any American League team. And they have averaged fewer than 4 runs a game over the last 3 seasons.
It's tough to swallow right there.
They're not going to win very much.
And it doesn't have to put the blame on the ballpark either.
There's Borges driving one in the gap in left center field. That ball's hit into the wind, but he really put a charge into it. It'll take a hop and hit off the wall. Peter can fly, so he's going to head for third, and he'll slide in without even a throw with a triple.
Nothing new for Peter Borges, driving the ball and making his way onto third base and making it look so easily as he glides along the base paths.
So Borges has a triple. He led the American League in that department last year. He had 11 of them. Good to see one here today. Hank Conger will be the next batter.
Borges could be a force for the Angels in the bottom of the lineup, but also at the top of the lineup. That's a versatility and a flexibility Mike Scioscia told me he will keep an open mind about.
Conger's had a double today. He has a chance to drive in a run here, get the Angels on the scoreboard as the pitch is fouled off on the right side. He's batting left-handed against the right-hander Marquez. Infield is back. Outfield is playing Conger pretty much straight away. The pitch, he grounds one on the right side. This is going to get the runner in. Borges will score. The only chance for Romero is a throw to first. He'll get Conger, who gets the RBI on the 4-3 ground out. Angels get on the scoreboard, trailing at 4-1.
That's what you want to do right here. Just don't give away at bats. Make them as productive as possible, even if they're outs. Infield playing back, you're taking ground balls up the middle. Put your team on the board.
Efrain Navarro will be the next batter, who had 2 outs here in the 7th. He's had an 0-for-2 day with a fly out and a ground out. Here's the pitch. He takes the first one for a called strike. Marquez delivers, and that pitch is cut on and missed. So the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Oh, there's a lot of ball game left. Just like the Angels saw the youngsters for the Mariners get it done offensively. You got to think, any opportunity you have as you get more young players in there, they're going to be very hungry. It could make some things happen.
Here's the 0-2. Bounced on the right side of the infield, fielded by Rodriguez, the first baseman, but his throw is by the pitcher covering first, and safe is Navarro. That was not a real good throw by Rodriguez, and the Angels inning will continue here with 2 outs, and we'll see what the Angels can do. That's going to be an error charged on Rodriguez, who fielded the ball, the first baseman.
And he's really playing out of position. He's more of a second base, third base, shortstop guy, but they're trying to get him more repetitions. That's why he's playing first base, trying to make the ball club as a utility guy. And that ball right there, he'll know, because he also plays second base. It would have been an easier play for the second baseman and then wait for the pitcher to get there.
So Luis Jimenez is going to bat. This is his first at bat today, and he takes the pitch for a strike.
Luis Jimenez is not afraid to swing the bat. Close to 100 RBIs last year in Double-A.
He's had 1 at bat so far this spring without a hit for the Angels, and he takes that pitch for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And close to 100 RBIs, hitting under 20 home runs.
Marquez has the sign. 1-1 pitch. That's grounded foul over on the third base side. So the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jimenez. That wind really picking up. You can hear it in the background. Here's the 1-2 on Jimenez. Checks on that one. Did he go around on the appeal? They say no. He was holding. 2-2 the count.
Good job, Darrell Cousins, right on top of that one.
If Jimenez can keep the inning going with 2 outs, waiting on deck is Romine.
They're trying to bust him inside with a fastball here.
Here's the pitch, and it's grounded on the third base side, juggled slightly by the third baseman, but the throw by Catricala over to second is in time to force out Navarro, and the inning will end on the 5-4 fielder's choice. The Angels come up with their first run today. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error in the inning, and in the inning the Angels leave a runner on. The 8th is coming up next. It's 4-1 Seattle. The Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. For 1 Seattle. A couple of changes for the Angels There's a new center fielder, that's Ryan Langerhans, and a new catcher for the Halos, Alberto Rosario. Coronel Arenas will continue pitching for the Angels. He got the final 2 outs last inning, and his first pitch on Rodriguez misses for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, Terry, hopefully Arenas saw some things, and Mike Butcher was able to point them out to him. He'll have an easier going here and get ahead of hitters. As you were talking about, a guy that throws a contact, make it put to work here. There you go.
And there's a bouncer hit on the first base side. Navarro fields and flips to the pitcher, Arenas covering, and that's the first out.
That's what you want to see right there. Early count outs.
Well, one thing, Jose, I was just thinking about it. We haven't brought it up today. The Mariners certainly had a tragedy hit their organization during the offseason. And they had one of their young, talented outfielders, a player we saw play for Seattle last year. He was shot and killed during the offseason. That was Greg Hallman.
We saw him hit a home run.
Right. There's a bouncing ball hit by Trayvon Robinson through the right side. He was first ball swinging, and he is on with a hit, his first hit of the day since coming into the ball game.
Yeah, very sad to hear that, and the way it happened with his own brother committing that crime.
Yeah, just a tragedy. And he was certainly a player, as we mentioned. He was not only on their radar screen, but he was up in the big leagues for a time last season. They liked him. He had some tools. Romero is the batter now. Here's the pitch, and that one is a strike on the outside corner. This game was scoreless through 6 innings, and then in the 7th inning, each team scored, but the Mariners got the bulk of the runs. They got 4 in the top of the 7th. The Angels got 1 in the bottom of the 7th, and now we're in the 8th. Seattle's out hit the Angels 11-5.
That ground ball, that's what you want right here. Put those guys to work for you.
Infield is playing it at double play depth. Stefan Romero is the batter. Right-handed hitter. Right-hander against right-hander. Runner goes Robinson. The pitch is a ball. The throw to second and not in time. Rosario got off a pretty good throw, but Robinson got a good break on the pitch to the plate. Robinson has a steal of second base.
Very impressive release there by Rosario. I mean, he throws pretty much without standing up from one knee and makes a quick delivery out there. And it was more not by design, but by the desperate situation he was in, because Arenas did not give him much of a chance out there on the mound.
So runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch, and a big cut and a miss by Romero at that one. He's down 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's a good sinking action right there on that last pitch. Going down and in.
Trayvon Robinson, the base runner for Seattle, went to Crenshaw High School. That school's produced some former major league players. The pitch on its way, and a swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Romero.
Good pitching. Repeating pitches, location, delivery, and staying with that sinker inside. It's just a great execution right there.
So the batter now is Catricala, who flied out his first time up. That was last inning. On a day where we've had gusting winds here, we have not had a single home run. Here's the pitch. That one is high and away. Wind's been blowing out hard most of the day to right and right center field.
It's really painted like a 12 to 11 kind of game here in camp.
Yeah.
Good job by the guys on the mound.
Two outs in the inning, a runner at second. Arenas is set. Next pitch, and a cut and a miss by Catricala. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Happy to see what Rosario is doing with Arenas out there. And he's giving him good, late, subtle moves inside when he calls for a certain location. inside or outside. He just glides into that location slowly. There he goes.
1-1 pitch, and there's one that's cut on and missed. Kind of get the feeling that Arenas is feeling a little bit more comfortable out there on the mound right now.
Certainly is comfortable throwing to Rosario right now. And there's the subtle movements, great communication out there, learning more and more.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Next delivery, it's lifted high in the air and hit well into center field. That ball is really hit, and it is gone. Tricala homers, not too far away from the flagpole out there, out in deep center field. He gave it a ride. So now the lead expands, and now it's a 6-1 Seattle lead.
He just misses location right down the middle. As good as the sinker is, this one didn't do much, and just what we're talking about with that wind, all you need to do is get it up there. That one right there, wind or no wind, that was out of any ballpark.
Just talking about no home runs in the game, and then bingo, one leaves the ballpark for the wrong team.
No blame.
Yep. So at the plate is Jaso, John Jaso, batting for the 2nd time. He's had a walk so far in this ball game, and he grounds one sharply to second and skips away from Lindsay, tries to recover and can't get to it fast enough. No throw to first base. That should have been the end of the inning. It is going to be an error, and the Angels have committed one right here.
Happens to everybody, and Taylor Lindsay just cannot put his head down right now. You let the ball play him a little bit. He got in good fielding position, but one thing I would have liked to have seen there is him get into fielding position, but not that early. He could have rounded that ball and come up and scoop it up a little bit better.
Second error against the Angels today. Darren Ford is the batter, and the pitch, it's a ball. Ball popped out of the mid of the catcher Rosario, but he quickly recovers. No advancement by the base runner Jaso. Let's pause for station identification right here on the Angels Baseball Network. Terry Smith, Jose Mota, and our producer engineer Darren Chan with you here from Tempe Diablo. Pitch on its way, comes in on the batter, and Ford got nicked by that pitch. He's hit by the pitch. He will be awarded first base, and that'll put runners on at first and second.
Looks like it got him on the top hand, his right hand. There's that sinker that's all of a sudden just getting away from Arenas.
So Rosario goes out to talk to Arenas. Those two are certainly familiar with each other. The Angel battery, they were together last season at AA Arkansas. So there's a comfort level, I'm sure, with the two of them working with each other. But things haven't gone their way here in this inning. A couple of runs on the board. There have been 3 straight batters reach base safely with 2 outs here in this inning. And the inning isn't over yet. Mike Wilson is the batter, and he takes a pitch for a called strike. Angels down by 5 here in the 8th inning. Next pitch. It's high and away. It misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Arenas is the 6th pitcher of the day for the Angels. Weaver worked 2. Walden an inning. Shoemaker a couple of innings. Van Mill an inning and a third. Morandi did not retire any of the 3 he faced. And Arenas trying to work an inning plus here. Wilson checked the swing on the last pitch. It's called a ball. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Mariners have action in their bullpen, a left-hander. The 2-1 delivery. Broken bat bouncer hit to third, fielded by Jimenez. Flips to second just in time to force out the base runner forward, and that will end the inning. It'll be a 5-4 fielder's choice. In the inning, though, a couple of runs for Seattle as they add on. They had 2 hits in the inning, including the homer by Catricala. An error, a hit batsman, and they end up leaving a pair. We are headed to the bottom. Five or more can enjoy exciting Angels baseball for as low as $6 per seat. This year, when group tickets are purchased, each member will receive an Angels hat for select series. To book your group outing, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups. New pitcher in the game for the Mariners, left-hander Mauricio Robles will take over for Jeff Marquez. Marquez worked last inning against the Angels. He allowed a hit, a run, it was earned. He didn't walk and he struck out 1. And Robles will take over. He's a left-hander, has a pretty good arm. Not that big of a guy, 5'10", fastball, top out around 95. He has a curve, but his best pitch is his changeup. We'll see if he uses that with regularity here in this inning. He's also prone to have some control issues, so we'll see if the Angels can cash in a little bit. Andrew Romine will lead it off, switch hitter batting from the right side against the lefty, and the first pitch. That's high and away for ball 1.
A lot of that information that you just passed here also has been passed around the Angels dugout, just because everybody has a scanner report on everybody right now.
Sure.
And the key is to tell young players, young hitters now, hey, don't help them out.
There's a pitch that's in there for a strike. This is the first appearance this spring for Robles. Here's the next one, and that one misses low, so he's fallen behind. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hope you're enjoying the action wherever you're listening today or watching the telecast on Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. On the radio side on the Angels Baseball Network and our flagship station, Angels Radio AM 830. 2-2 now to count on Andrew Romine. Robles not wasting much time. He's set. The 2-2 pitch, and it's cut on and missed. He chased a high fastball, struck him out.
Yeah, that's exactly what Mickey Hatcher did not want to see. And again, you know, some hitters that get out there are not playing a full game. They're anxious to go out there and swing the bat too, so it's a double-edged sword sometimes when you're anxious to get your bat on the ball and make something happen. A lot of times you tend to spread your zone.
So at the plate now is Taylor Lindsay, and he takes the first pitch in there for a strike. Lindsay, a good young hitter in the Angels organization, takes that pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hard-nosed player right here. Really has a very good aptitude towards the game.
Some people have compared him to a young Adam Kennedy. Next pitch, and he rips that one into right field. That'll be a base hit.
AK did that a lot for the Angels.
There you go.
AK now with the Dodgers over in Glendale.
Yeah, and we'll see the Dodgers coming up on Monday on the 12th. They'll be here to take on the Angels.
In fact, Adam Kennedy was a Mariner last season. Had to play a little first base, third base, sometimes cleanup hitter.
Dodgers have a few ex-Angels on that club. Juan Rivera's on that team.
Kid.
Yeah.
Kid was very productive for the Dodgers after they signed him as a free agent. After he got let go by the Blue Jays. They wasted no time in bringing him back in a 1-year deal.
Yeah, he had a very good second half of last season, Juan Rivera. Doug Deeds is the batter. He takes the first pitch for a ball.
I can't say kid. It's Key.
Right.
That's the way Juan says it. Hey, Key, how you doing? And, of course, you and Juan go way back to your days in Columbus and the Yankee organization.
Yeah, we sure do. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Next delivery, Deeds lifts a high fly ball into shallow right field. Chavez is camping under. He'll put it away. That's the second out. Matt Long will be the next batter for the Angels. Well, after a couple of big offensive days for the Angels in the first 2 Cactus League games, the bats have been pretty quiet today. Just 1 run, 6 hits for the Angels in this game, and the only run came last inning in the bottom of the 7th.
That's by the job that Bevan set the tone on the mound for the Mariners. I mean, he was around the zone, worked 4 solid innings. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk.
He was making his second start this spring, Blake Bevan, for Seattle. They have a little bit of a heads up as far as games played. This is their 6th game this spring. The Angels playing only their 3rd. Next pitch, that one misses high. Looking down into the stands, not too far behind where the coaches are seated for Seattle. Maybe about 5-6 rows back. There are a couple of fans there that are wearing the Snuggies, Jose.
It's a good day for the Snuggies. Glad they brought them. Even though people are going, if you're going to a game in Arizona, what are you taking that for?
Well,
and
they picked the right day.
Yeah.
They're in the pretty much in the shade right now. It's cooled off. It's been a fairly cool day today. 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch, and that one is outside. That's a walk-on 4 pitches to Matt Long. So the Angels have a little 2-out threat brewing here. Ryan Langerhans will be the next batter. So we'll see if he can produce here for the Angels.
About maybe a little payback against his former team right here. He's got some power.
Yeah, he was with the Mariners for part of last season. This will be his first at bat today. We've seen him a little bit this spring so far for the Angels, and he has gone 0 for 3 so far at the plate. Left-handed hitter, lefty against lefty. Robles delivers, and that pitch is outside. We had mentioned Robles tends to struggle with his control. He has walked a batter in this inning, and Romine was a little bit too aggressive in his at bat against him.
Certainly.
He might have been able to coax a walk out of him as well.
High fastball cost him.
Here's the 1-0. lifted foul on the left side. That's going to get back and out of play.
That's a pretty good swing right there. Stay right on that fastball. Anytime you see that shoulder stay in, square up, and air it out, that's a good sign. As long as that shoulder stays square against every delivery from the lefty, you give yourself a better chance on hitting that slider.
Here's the pitch, and that's a called strike. He was taking it.
Terry, and there will be days when that slider is just too good, and no matter what you do, lefty's going to beat you.
No kidding. So 2 strikes on the Angel hitter. 2 outs and 2 on. Angels down 6-1 in the 8th. The pitch. That's low. The count level. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rosario, the catcher, Alberto Rosario, he would be waiting to get an at-bat here. He is waiting to get an at-bat if Langerhans can keep things going here. Count even. The lefty checks second, delivers the 2-2. Hard hit grounder, but right to the second baseman. Romero fields it on 1 hop, throws him out at first, and the inning is over. Ball was hit sharply, but right to the second baseman. No runs in the inning, a hit, a walk, no errors, 2 runners stranded. 9th inning coming up in Tempe. It's 6-1 Seattle on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Pitcher of the day, Francisco Rodriguez, will take over for Orangel Arenas. He went an inning and 2/3, giving up 2 hits, a couple of runs earned, didn't walk any, struck out 1, hit 1, and allowed a home run. Francisco Rodriguez is the new pitcher. He appeared in 10 games for the Angels last season and was bothered by a lot of right shoulder tendonitis last year. He also pitched a little bit last season at AAA Salt Lake and pitched some in winter ball as well in Mexico during the offseason. Francisco Rodriguez taking over as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Chavez at the plate for Seattle, and he takes the first pitch for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
I know it sounds simple for Francisco Rodriguez, but he does have plenty of big league experience now. His arm is a plus arm. He could go 92, 93. His cutter, his cut fastball is improved. He needs to go out there and just trust his stuff and throw it around the plate.
There's a pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. It's now 1-1.
There have been times when he's been hit around, but he gets a little contact shy and gets away from his game. He's got a very good arm. He can pitch upstairs in the zone at times, but really when his slider is on, he's got this tough to follow with swings.
1-1 pitch, bounced on a high hop to short. Long throw by Romine, and he gets it to first in time. That is out number 1 to start off the 9th inning. It's 6-1 in favor of Seattle here in the 9th.
You might recall not long ago, Mike Socha was talking about Rodriguez working his way into more prominent roles in the Angels, the back end of that bullpen in the 2010 season.
Here's Brad Miller getting set to bat, a left-handed hitter. There's a pitch a little bit low. Francisco Rodriguez working exclusively from the stretch. Doesn't waste much time out there. Has the sign and the next delivery. Smacked right to second. That one's handled cleanly by Lindsay. His throw is in time. And 2 quick outs, a couple of ground ball outs here in this 9th inning. Luis Rodriguez will step to the plate. He's gone all the way today at first base. Played the entire game, and he's getting ready for his 5th at bat of the day.
Jerry, if you want to be a utility man, you know what? You can't be too picky. All right? Try to make the team. You just go out there and take it for the team.
Yeah. He's had a double and scored a run his first 4 times up. Here's the pitch. And the switch hitter batting left takes that one a little low for a ball.
The other thing, too, is a backup, a utility guy. Especially more in the American League, there could be many days, sometimes even a couple of weeks, where you get a chance to get on that field and swing the bat.
There's a fly ball that he hits into right center field. Long is chasing it down, and he makes a nice running catch out there. That ball was carrying with the wind blowing, but Matt Long makes the running catch, and the inning is over. Quick inning for Francisco Rodriguez. He sets him down 1-2-3. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th. The Angels trying to get back in this one, trailing 6-1 on the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket. Trailing 6-1, a new pitcher for Seattle, Scott Patterson, will take over. He is a right-hander who has a very awkward-looking motion to the plate. The way he releases the baseball. And Patterson will get ready to face Rosario, who leads things off for the Angels. Patterson becomes pitcher number 5 of the day for Seattle. Infield is back. The outfield is playing it straight away. We'll see if the Angels can get back in this ball game. Needing runs, down by 5 in the bottom of the 9th. Time certainly running out. First pitch, that one is in there for a called strike. 0-1 is the count. Jose has made his way downstairs. He'll be chatting with Mike Scioscia at the conclusion of this ball game. Here's the next pitch, and that one is high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Patterson was a pitcher who pitched in independent ball for a number of seasons. As that pitch misses ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. Yankees signed him, and he actually pitched for New York and San Diego back in the 2008 season. He hasn't been in the big leagues since. Here's the next delivery. That's a liner through the left side for a base hit. A leadoff single for Alberto Rosario to get things going for the Angels here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Hank Conger will be the next batter. Conger's played the entire game. He's been the DH. And this will be his 4th at bat today. He's had a double. He's driven in a run with a ground out. He's also lined out, so 1 for 3. Patterson is set. He's a big right-hander, 6'7", and the pitch, that one is outside. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Conger batting left, the switch hitter, takes that pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Patterson pitched in the ball game just a couple of days ago for these Mariners, and in that ball game on Monday pitched a scoreless inning. Next pitch to Conger, he pops it up foul behind the plate. The catcher goes back but runs out of room as Jaso sees that one land over the screen, out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. Angels have just 1 run today after putting runs on the board in the first 2 games. 9 in the game on Monday against Oakland and 6 yesterday against the White Sox. The 2-1 on Conger. He lifts one in the air on the left side. It'll be the shortstop Miller battling the wind a little bit and backpedaling onto the outfield grass to make the catch. 1 gone on the pop up to the shortstop. Efrain Navarro slated to bat, but it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for him. Robinson Diaz will bat. So Navarro, who had played the entire game for the Angels at first base, will be lifted for a pinch hitter. Efrain Navarro went 0 for 3 today. Diaz, a right-handed hitter. The pitch, and he backed away from that pitch and missed low and inside. Diaz playing in his 2nd game this spring for the Angels. He's a catcher. This is his first at bat for the Angels in the Cactus League. One-0 pitch. Line down the right field side. Chasing after it is Chavez, but that ball is going to land foul out of his reach. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Robinson Diaz was in the Rangers organization last year. Played in AA and AAA and hit .319 in the minors. And he also played well in winter ball in the Dominican. He hit .338 in winter ball. Patterson is ready. Okay's the sign. Here's the next pitch. Lined into center field. Coming in hard is Trayvon Robinson. He can't make the catch. It drops in front of him, and the Angels have runners at first and second. So Diaz has a single. Angels have 2 runners on. A little threat brewing here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Number 64,
Luis Jimenez will be the next batter as he gets ready for his second at bat today. So we'll see if the Angels have a big comeback up their sleeves here in the bottom of the 9th inning, down by 5. Two on, 1 out. Jimenez facing Patterson. Right-hander against right-hander. The pitch. That one is inside. It misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Non-roster pitcher Scott Patterson facing the Angels here in the bottom of the 9th. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Patterson is a guy who has that awkward motion to the plate. A lot of deception in his pitching. Has the sign, working from the stretch. And the next pitch. Ground ball hit on the left side. Diving stop by the shortstop, but no throw anywhere for Miller. So that'll be an infield hit, and now the bases are loaded. So the Angels are trying their best to get back in this ball game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Runners everywhere with 1 out. 3 singles in the inning and a pop out. Andrew Romine, switch hitter, will bat. He'll swing from the left side. So right now the Angels have the tying run in the on-deck circle, represented by Lindsay. We'll see what Romine can do here. Here's the pitch. He takes the first one. It's inside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Scott Patterson is not the kind of pitcher who's going to blow you away with his velocity. He's out there pretty much trying to trick you and hoping that that unusual delivery of his will work to his benefit. The next pitch, that one's fouled off on the left side. Backing out of play behind the Mariners dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Patterson releases the pitch, the right-hander. He releases his pitches at a very high arm angle. The way he kind of just flicks the ball toward the mound. You don't see many pitchers throw the way he does. Here's the next pitch, and that one is low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike the count on Romine. Lead runner at third base, Rosario, he singled. At second, Diaz, he singled. There's a pitch in there for a strike. 2-2 the count. Jimenez, the runner at first base for the Angels, he has a hit in this inning as well. 2-2 the count on Romine. 6-1 Seattle, bottom of the 9th with 1 out. Bases loaded. The 2-2 pitch. That's low. Ball skipped away from the catcher Jaso. He quickly recovers just outside of the batter's circle. So it's a full count on Romine. When Andrew batted his first time up, which was last inning, leading off the bottom of the 8th, he struck out on a 3-2 pitch against Mauricio Robles. He's worked another count full here. A walk means a run, and the 3-2 delivery. He grounds the ball to second. This could be 2. Flip to second 1. Relay to first. Off the bag. Rodriguez has the ball skip off his glove, and then he recovers. But safe at first base will be Romine. A run is scored. It's now 6-2. But there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. That had a chance to be a game-ending double play ball, but the Mariners were unable to turn it. So give Romine a fielder's choice and a run batted in. And Lindsay will be the next batter. Lindsay stepping up to the plate with runners at the corners. 6-2. Seattle, 2 outs, 2 on, bottom of the 9th. Lindsay got a hit last inning. Here's the pitch. And he lifts a fly ball into right center field. That ball's hit well. Chasing is the right fielder. Chavez can't make the catch, and the ball is out near the warning track. A run will score. A second comes in. Lindsay into third base with a triple. And now all of a sudden the Angels get a bit closer here. It's a 6-4 ball game. So Taylor Lindsay comes through with a big 2-run triple. And the Angels will have the tying run at the plate in Doug Deeds with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Lindsay hit a gapper all the way out to deep right center field. Deeds the batter. He's flied out a couple of times to right field. Here's the pitch, and he takes that one for a strike. Angels have scored 3 in the bottom of the 9th. But the problem, the Angels were down 5 going into the bottom of the inning. Here's the next pitch. Hit in the air into left field. Ford is going back, got twisted around, battles the wind, but makes the catch. And that will end the inning. It was a bit of an adventure for Darren Ford out there in left field. He got twisted around, but the ball was high enough that he could recover and make the grab, and that will end the ball game. So it ends on a fly out to left field. Here in the bottom of the 9th, the Angels end up with 3 runs, getting 4 hits in the inning, no errors, and the Angels will leave 1 runner on base. So the Halos fall today here to the Seattle Mariners by the final score of 6-4. First time the Angels have dropped a game here in the Cactus League. The Halos now with a record of 2-1, and Seattle improves their spring record to 5-1 with the victory here today. Let's get ready to head downstairs. Mike Scioscia is joined by Jose Mota.
Thanks, Terry. Mike, you have to be pleased with the effort put in this last inning by the young players. What was their approach?
Oh, it was great. It's good to see those kids get out there. We hit some balls hard early. Then some of our young pitchers gave them a lead, but those kids kept scrapping. They kept hitting the ball, and you see kids like Taylor Lindsay and Matty Long. They have smiles on their face just to be able to get in and get a hit in the big league game.
Let's go back early in the ballgame. What you saw from Weaver, Walden, and Shoemaker themselves, because it seemed just to be a pitcher's matchup all the way through the 7th inning.
I think out of today we're going to take those 3 positives. Weave was good, got his work in. Jordan Walden, really a lot of life on his fastball, through some good change-ups and off-speed pitches. And Matty Shoemaker's a guy who pitched in Double-A and had incredible numbers for us last year. He's not an overpowering, but he showed that his stuff can play in a major league game, and it has to give him a boost of confidence.
What is the boost of confidence you give the young pitchers that come in, they're a little jittery, they're a little nervous? Mike Scioscia is watching me to make sure they calm down and understand where they're at right now to implement their game into the system. Oh,
there's no doubt about the fact that those guys just need to get out there on the mound, make some pitches, and they get a little, even if they walk a guy, they get their nerves, away, and they can grow with it and be a little better next time they get an opportunity.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
All right, Jose. Thank you.
It's all yours.
Jose Mota and Mike Scioscia down by the Angels dugout, where today the Angels dropped their first game this spring, losing to Seattle by the final score of 6-4. For those watching on Diablo Vision, Jose and Tim Salmon will have a lot more post-game analysis. And on the radio side, I'll be back from Tempe in just a couple of minutes. This is the Angels Baseball Network and Diablo Vision on Prime Ticket.